the track. I was once broke, I was down bad, swear I'm never going back. I'm from upstate, where we see a little bit of this and some of that. Little city and some sticks, watch me put it on the map, someone get attacked. If you're not first and you're last, life is a race, don't you lag. I get a bag and I stack, the reason I tax was not cause they needed me. Got all of mine equally, I see what they need from me. Blood, sweat and tears from the frequency, now you believe in me. Cheers for me. Give me the loot. Might lose some battles, but winning the war. I get knocked down, I get back up, get up and go, I stay ready for more. Go to the toe till I level the score. Never gon' quit, heard you seen some, but you never seen this. Bet on myself 8 times, no trick, tricks. Give me the loot. Word on my palm at the top of the game. Still unashamed, no one to blame. Took all the L's and I rose from the pain. Can't have the sun without seeing the rain. And it rained down when the rain came. See the time change, rolling plain Jane. You and me are not the same, stop saying things. Yeah, they talk, I don't say a lot. I just walk, so I'm moving loud. Really keep it low key, I don't like crowds. Really keep it OG, I don't like clowns. Really keep it just me, I'm the best out. I don't try to keep up, I don't stress out. I don't cash no checks cause the checks bounce. I don't chat about that, I'm the best out. And I did all of this with a pen and a pad. Shift up the tech, got the notes in the lab. Remember the days when I want what I had. Still want more, guess I'm stuck in the past. First or your last, fast lane, chuck up the deuce when I pass. Give me the loot. Might lose some battles, but winning the war. I get knocked down, I get back up, get up and go, I stay ready for more. Go to the toe till I level the score. Never gon' quit, heard you seen some, but you never seen this. Bet on myself 8 times, no trick, tricks. Give me the loot. Might lose some battles, but winning the war. I get knocked down, I get back up, get up and go, I stay ready for more. Go to the toe till I level the score. Never gon' quit, heard you seen some, but you never seen this. Bet on myself 8 times, no trick, tricks. Give me the loot. Give me the loot. Might lose some battles, but winning the war. I get knocked down, I get back up, get up and go, I stay ready for more. Go to the toe till I level the score. Never gon' quit, heard you seen some, but you never seen this. Bet on myself 8 times, no trick, tricks. Give me the loot. See now we going high stakes. This ain't clickbait, this a risk take, this no mistake. I was born to do it, I was born for music, I just get into it. I can't get influence when I'm near influence, no genre music. We go rap back to pop, back to rap, country on the track. I was once broke, I was down bad, swear I'm never going back. I'm from upstate, where we see a little bit of this and some of that. Little city and some sticks, watch me put it on the map, someone get attacked. If you're not first and you're last, life is a race, don't you lag. I get a bag and I stack, the reason I tax was not cause they needed me. Got all of mine equally, I see what they need from me. Blood, sweat and tears from the frequency, now you believe in me. Cheers for me. Give me the loot. Might lose some battles, but winning the war. I get knocked down, I get back up, get up and go, I stay ready for more. Go to the toe till I level the score. Never gon' quit, heard you seen some, but you never seen this. Bet on myself 8 times, no trick, tricks. Give me the loot. Word on my palm at the top of the game. Still unashamed, no one to blame. Took all the L's and I rose from the pain. Can't have the sun without seeing the rain. And it rained down when the rain came. See the time change, rolling plain Jane. You and me are not the same, stop saying things. Yeah, they talk, I don't say a lot. I just walk, so I'm moving loud. Really keep it low key, I don't like crowds. Really keep it OG, I don't like clowns. Really keep it just me, I'm the best out. I don't try to keep up, I don't stress out. I don't care.
Hello everyone.
We finally made it! Oh,
Yeah.
hello.
Hey.
Hello. It's my job. I'm the host here, but it's okay. We're all hosts in one way or another. Welcome back, everybody, to the Chronovium Cup. Can you believe we've mined all the Chronovium in the world and we brought it to one single broadcast? My name is Keg, and I'm joined by 2 of the greatest superheroes, the ones that the Avengers even couldn't sign, Trick Slayer and Lunium. How are you two? Lunium, what's up, man? How are you?
I'm good. I'm really good. It's a bit warm here in France, but at least it's not raining, so I'm pretty good and pretty excited to see some more action today into this tournament. So really happy to be joined by you, Keg and Trixler. So yeah, looking forward to it.
Well,
I'm
France and
also
California are pretty much the same place, Trick Slayer, and I mean, it's raining for all of us too, right? We live down the street from each other, but how are you, man?
It's been a little wet lately in LA, which is kind of interesting. It's not a common occurrence here. In fact, most people, when they're driving, they're terrified of the water. But I'm doing good, man. I'm excited to be here. I'm excited as well that we have taken all the Chronovium out of the world and we are now paying it back to our players. And I'm also very jealous of Lunium over here with that pink hoodie. That's a good hoodie, bro.
Eh,
I'm feeling
Yeah,
that.
I don't know where
Yeah,
my hoodie went.
I don't know. I wanted a bit of color. I just took a hoodie. I was like, yeah, pink is the day for the pink hoodie. So yeah, let's run it. Yeah.
I like how it's a bit of color, like when pink is like one of the most aggressive colors you can possibly put on. Just a little bit of color.
No, I like the pink, but you know what else I also like? I like the quarterfinals that we're about to head
Mm.
into. We're into day 2. It is the final day of this cup, and of course, INGAGE, thank you so much again for allowing this tournament to become a possibility. But the possibility of us going to our first game is going to be Strong World versus Astronomic Esports. Oh, I'm sorry, Astrotonic Esports. And we're going to be seeing between them in a best of one who can move on forwards and possibly dominate the lower bracket all the way into grand finals. Lunium, what are the expectations going into this matchup?
So I had the chance to look at Strong World yesterday. Really strong team, to be honest. They are facing the Brub Patapim, which is probably like the second best team in Europe behind Virtus Pro, which is not part of this tournament. So I would go for Strong World because I was really impressed by Frost Mountain, which is like a really good DPS player. He managed to just go into the Jeff the Land Shark versus Tanuki, who is probably the best in Europe, and he did really good. So I would go for them, yeah.
So, quick question though, as our resident Europeologist, which is the best Italian brain rot in this tournament?
Oh my god. Oh, that's an hard one, yeah. They used to get named a lot differently. This team, they didn't look.
Mm.
They don't have a team for now, but I think my favorite one is the Brut Patapim, of course. So
See,
yeah, yeah, that.
I've always been a tung 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 sahur kind of person.
Whoa.
uh, no,
What
I
about
get
you,
it.
Trick
I get it.
Slayer? Yeah.
For me, actually, when you go to a party and you're there all about first impressions, that's where I'm at right now. I'm entering into a new party. I'm getting first impressions. I'm figuring out what's going on. And what I find exciting about tournaments is watching
hates
the
all of us.
internal meta. Yeah, that's right. I'm judging you all silently from the side, drinking my Kool-Aid. I'm over here excited about the internal meta that evolves in a tournament. And usually that's focused around tank play. Personally, I love playing Vanguards. So watching right now how it's all developing, Emma Frost, Groot, Magneto, and how you make adjustments throughout the tournament is what I'm looking out for. I want to see where the Vanguards are going and how they're working with the supports. So I'm
Mm.
watching that.
I think you bring up a good point. The Vanguards were very important yesterday. We saw a lot of teams make or break with it, especially a
Yeah.
lot of the late game group play and whether or not he'd be banned out. Lunium, were there any tanks yesterday that really stood out to you?
I think we've seen quite a lot of Emma Frost, to be honest. Like, this is the new one
She's
coming
good.
up into season
Oh,
2,
yeah.
basically being saved by every team, and quite easy to pick it up. Like, a lot of main tanks, like, they started playing her, and they are doing amazing, especially Enzo on the Brr Patapim, of course, is a controller player that has been playing for OG Sports before, and he's like insanely good. He used to play a lot of Venom, a lot of the thing, but on Emma Frost, this is something, and we will have the chance to look at him a bit later during the winner final. So yeah, I think Emma Frost is definitely like the good one to go, and obviously the Groot. Like having so many Groot plays, I love to see them.
Well, the reason why Groot is strong right now is because of Emma Frost's introduction into Marvel Rivals. Groot's walls do not build up her left click, basically her basic attack, and that means that you can prevent her from doing 150 damage per second if you're able to put up a wall and disrupt that, because it actually falls off pretty quickly. So that's what's so interesting about the Vanguard meta. You see an Emma Frost, you want a Groot. Suddenly, if that Emma Frost drops off, you want to switch into a Magneto, so you can go more pokey, or you can save someone from a Groot wall. And that's why I like these interchanges that are happening, and why we see characters bubble up. Of course, his ult is strong too, as you were mentioning. Lots of plays yesterday.
That's right. That's right. Now, as we head into this day 2 of this tournament, we have our winner side, we have our lower side first. Well, the
Mm.
lower side is going to be a best of one, but overall, same exact question, Trick. Predictions for today. Who do you think is going to make it to the finals?
Well, it's hard because it's a best of one, right? A best of
It is,
one
it is.
it's volatile, and that's kind of the fun of it. But when this tournament is all about winner takes all, right? Technically, when it comes to loser bracket, man, you just got to put out your best and just go with it. So if I were to pick anything, because it is a first impression for me, I think I'm gonna have to pick Strong World. I just like their name. I want to see them get pretty far, get to the losers bracket, and the idea of having someone sitting behind the alias of Strong World, it gets my heart beating, man. That's what it's all about.
It sounds like Battle World.
Yeah.
What about you, Luminum? Who can we expect to see make it to Grands?
Yeah, so for the first match, yeah, strong, of course. And I would say for the winner final, yeah, I can only go for Patapim. They are the most favorite team. They came by and they are just meant to take the $500 right here. But I would love to see some surprises, but it seems they are pretty good, pretty confident. They are screaming a lot Virtus Pro these days, which is the best team in Europe, and they are starting to take a few games one after the other. So maybe it will be for the next big tournament for Virtus Pro, maybe to lose at one point because they are still undefeated, which is annoying to me. I mean, I love to see them. They are amazing, but at one point, they need to give the crown to someone else.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're like the most professional team in the tournament thus far. We're heading into it. All right, good luck, guys. Good luck, guys.
All right. Strong World and Astronomy. As it was mentioned just before, we are just going to play in the best of one, which is quite hard, I would say, because this is do or die. If you're losing this one, you're out of this tournament. We were speaking about Human Torch also being one of the best characters so far. And yeah, he's being saved by Strong World. We have Frost Mountain, who is like basically one of the best from what I've seen into this tournament. So looking forward for it.
Absolutely looking forward to it myself, my friend. And I do want to apologize. I did mispronounce your name earlier. It's Lunium. We were talking about hydrating before the tournament. We removed all the chronomium from the world to put into this tournament. So I am all dried up like a big old raisin. But look at these bands of reserves already. I do like the way things are shaping up. I dropped 50 yesterday in we'll say it was World Championships level ranked games for Marvel Rivals yesterday. The symbols are a little bit different sometimes, but all the same, he's very strong.
Yeah, definitely. We are still in the draft, and yeah, the draft is a bit new into this season 2 now. You got 3 bans, you got 2 safe picks, so the draft is a little bit longer, and strategies are a bit different. As we talked about also, Emma Frost being saved, we are having also a Rocket Raccoon being saved. This is not something that we've seen quite a lot. It changed in season 2, it's quite interesting, but when you are facing pro players level, basically the amplifier is being destroyed super fast, so you need to hide it in order to make it work, or the ultimate is completely useless, but you still got the Resurrection Beacon. That is really interesting. Another pick that we didn't have the time to speak too much about is the Captain America, probably the second tank that we've seen a lot during this tournament, especially on Isidore from Strong World. He has been doing amazing, but this time he is not going to be able to play him, unfortunately. And on the other end, that's a Punisher ban. I like the idea because they are saving a raccoon, so maybe this is something they wanted to practice and do into this game, but this is not a ban that we've seen quite a lot.
Yeah, I want to circle back over to the Raccoon reserve. I think it's really interesting to see because there is the Human Torch, there is Hela. These are 2 duelist players that are very far away and aren't necessarily going to be easy for a lot of healers to get access to. Is the idea here going to be for the backlines to kind of stagger outwards and really spread out to be not able to be hit as easily by, say, like a Vanguard, like a Hulk that can go backlines?
Yeah, we are going to see, and also, oh yeah, I missed this one, but we are having an Hulk with the Namor. With the new team up, this is quite powerful, especially when you want to counter some dive composition. So it doesn't seem to be the case from Astronic. We are not running any Venom Spider-Man. This is not something that you've seen a lot into pro plays, but more into ranked games. So that's interesting. And we are going to run the Raccoon, the Invisible Woman, and that's going to be the same from Strong World. Yeah, we just have a little bit difference there. We are going for the Ella, and on the other end, we got the Namor. So let's see who's going to make it.
Team ups already from Strong World, looking sound and secure. You have the Hulk and then the more set up alongside the Human Torch. You have a lot of variables, a lot of verticality and backline control. But immediately we see Strong World defensively, they want to take that verticality. Things are looking good right away though the pressure does begin. Astronic and company pushing that payload slowly but surely, but this first choke point will be one of the hardest for the first point. So far though, things are looking good, Lunium. People are beginning to fall, but the resurrection from the Raccoon Beacon has looked good off of the rocket.
And we had the first kill from the Human Torch, and you talked about it. This choke point, this little area, this is really hard to defend. If there is one mistake by Strong World, it can be completely hard to get back into the game and to defend the first checkpoint. But it seems like they're maintaining it well. Nice one on Isidore. Didn't manage to get back into his team right there. And we might see an opportunity to go on.
Surely now things should begin to crumble from Strong World's side. The CYA brought out in return Isidore far away from the team, off of no resurrect, a straight up respawn. It's gonna make things a lot more difficult. Bullets have to begin to come out from Strong World to buy for time. Astronic though, they're holding on tight. Iron Me for a second was taking a wealth of damage, but they survived yet again. There's no pressure to Astronic's backlines.
Strong World still got the CYA, so we got the ultimate advantage right there. The Supernova from Ast French, it's not going to work because we are forcing there the invincible boundaries. We are trying to do as much as we can. Unique seduction there, not pulling anyone in. And we still got the advantage because we still got Nami with the CYA, and that's the case. Cross Mountain with a good KO on Aster with the resurrection coming by. Can we make it? Can we continue the fight? That's going to be a good Goddess of Death, and we got another resurrection, and it seems like Astronic might lose this fight.
His name is Frost, but he's certainly hot. Things are looking fantastic off this defense now. A resurrect, as you mentioned, Lunium, once more off the hands of each team. Things are looking good. Astra French falls, and now even the attack is crumbling. Iron Me falls. These vanguards both falling in unison. It's Isidore to do the same. These heals, though, they've been focusing on the duelists. I can't blame them. Things are getting heated, though, with Frost Mountain once again targeting yet another from Astronic's side.
I really like Jesky with the Ella pick, which is supposed to be one of the best counter of the Human Torch, but Frost Mountain is playing it so well. He's playing with the buildings. He can hide and just come back and getting killed by his support. Oniro with the good K on Jesky. Speaking of the devil there, we are going a good grab on the Magneto, taking so much damage, and we are dominating from Strong World there, and we are charging up every ultimate ability. We will have soon both CYA, and we got all the rest. Can we make it? We want to keep putting some pressure. Legacy with a good KO, then once again on the other Emma Frost, good shielding. Isidore taking a lot of damage, but not enough. Both supports are doing amazingly well. And look at that, Keg, almost on only 40 seconds on the clock, and they didn't move the payload so far.
They really haven't. 40 seconds left, now turning down to 30. It's a all from Strong World, one after another. 3 immediately come out of this team reset from Astronic. Their attempt, though, double Supernova, invisible boundary, set in fray. Oniro does fall, though. This is a huge opener for Astronic to get at least a little bit farther, but they'll have to do it in overtime. There's simply just not enough time. Another invisible boundary off of Aura Stealer is out. The only one left with an ultimate after this dump from Strong World is the Hulk, and he's got to bring it out soon. He has to counter Iron Me. But there is a strategist that falls. Asterate is the first to do so. Remember, this is a best of one. There are no do-overs and certainly no corrections to mistakes. You'll have to bring it back over to the other side. Monster Hulk is out now suddenly, and things are looking good. Holding the line, Iron Me not long for this world. Does barely manage to hold on, but the enemy Hulk not longer into the fray. All that's left now is the front ends and the back lines, and they cannot get close to the payload. First half is looking fantastic for Strong World.
Yeah, they are looking really strong. 56 meters is not a lot. Basically, they need to win one fight. Only one team fight, and they will make it to the next round. That seems to be complicated for Astronic. They might need to change some stuff out. It seems like from Oniro, from Isidore, the Namor and Oak worked out quite well because with the squids, you can just directly focusing the Human Torch in the air. If he's not getting any support from his team, that's quite out there. So maybe tweaking some stuff from the team composition would be good, and it seems like that's going to be the case. Jesky on the Psylocke, which is also one of the best duelists that we have in Season 2 in Marvel Rivals, especially when you combine it with the team up from Emma Frost. You can have your illusion and doing a lot of damage. You can just burst someone down super fast. So this Psylocke will need to do just amazing in order for them to win. Quick look at the stats. We can see Frost Mountain, the obvious MVP for now for his team. 14k damage, 6 final hits. He's definitely the one to target and to KO fast.
And circling back to Jesky too, he was so dead set on focusing on Human Torch as the Hela that he was finding almost no impact off that duelist. Frost Mountain didn't even die at all in the first half. And so now going to the Psylocke and probably most likely focusing on the main fight itself will be a really good turnaround, but it's definitely needed here. Not much wiggle room whatsoever. Nearly 4 minutes on the clock to defend 50 meters. Strong World really don't have a lot of opposition in this best of one. This means it could be elimination for Astronic now. Holding the line, playing so far away, Astronic again afeared of staying onto the payload itself, giving plenty of room for Strong World to push up. Makes things scary. That's one elimination, Oniro. Finding SXN, and that's gonna be the Magneto gone. Jesky the same, another elimination, straight up taking 1v1s everywhere. There's no synergy of playing off each other. And Astronic, it's essentially over, Lunium. As you mentioned, it only needed to be one team fight one, and Strong World move on forwards to the lower semis.
One team fight and Oniro being godlike on his Okayen. Strong World will make it into the next round. Congratulations. Yeah, this is best of one. This is something where you need to give everything at one point, and that was not just not enough for them. And obviously, Frost Mountain, the obvious MVP, even if he gets one death at the very end in the attack phase, he did amazing. Strong World really looking strong and really looking forward to see them in the rest of the tournament. And yeah, 8 final hits. We got Oniro also popping off with the Okai at the very end. And yeah, that's it for them. We're gonna see them into the next match, and hopefully we will see another strong match. But once again, the next one is best of one. And Peg, you told it. Best of one is do or die. This is loser bracket. You have to give it all.
Yeah, you really have to do your best when it comes to the lower bracket side. There is no wiggle room whatsoever, and you can see how dire straits things can be. You had 50 meters on that second half to work with when you were Astronic, and there was really no way of getting anything started, even if you were able to make that push. But unlucky for them, however, Strong World, it's one of those teams where it's a surprise to see a cohesive team like them start off in the lower bracket for day two. It makes me wonder what happened in day number one. But you know what? This could be the beginning of something beautiful, Trick. Trick? You're not Trick, you're Lunium. But it could be the beginning of something amazing, and see how they could maybe make it all the way to grand finals.
Yeah, hopefully they can make it. Like the other thing, what that's going to be hard. Like the winner finals is Patapim versus Zero Tenacity. Zero Tenacity is a team that have been playing together since season 0, so they are having a few months of practice together. So Strong World is still strong. They practiced also since season 0, if I'm not mistaken. So that's going to be a good match. But first, they will need to face Earl Grey Tea that just defeated Alcatia from what I see. And I'm quite shocked, let's say, because Alcatia got really good player that went super far into the MRC with Lakaya, for example, a really good tank player. So, but once again, it was a best of one. So if you are missing your first game, this is just done for you. So really looking forward, because we're gonna jump in a couple of minutes into Strong World that we just seen and Earl Grey Tea. So probably a British team, I would say, if I'm just referring to their name. So
It was Spartan's favorite.
I don't know that much. Yeah, probably. Yeah. So maybe I don't know their team. I don't know. Maybe you had the chance to cast one of their match. Do you know a little bit of Earl Grey Tea? Because it rings a bell to me, but I don't know their players.
I see their team every time I go to the grocery store, but unfortunately, they did evade us yesterday for this tournament. Hopefully, we will get to see more of them. If they were able to defeat CAD yesterday, they did a great job. But I'd be curious to see what exactly happened in that matchup. and it seems like momentarily we should be going into that too, but that's just the nature of an early game like Marvel Rivals and a tournament like this is that we just simply don't know. And really the big reliance that we have are in-game mechanics like team ups.
Yeah, team ups are really, really important, and we've seen not that much from Mafrost and the Magneto and the Psylocke, but we've seen the Namor, the Oak, really, really looking strong on Hero and Isidore there. I'm really looking forward also from Isidore to play against Captain America because he played so well yesterday. And Captain America is one of these characters that received something like 3 buffs, I think, since the beginning of the game. He needed some more into his boots to make it work, and yeah, are we happy about that? I'm not really sure because I'm quite frustrated to play against a good Captain America. This is just, this little mosquito going into your backline. You can't hit him, it's just jumping around. And yeah, I'm frustrated to play against this one,
I'm
yeah.
I'm gonna say something controversial. I think if you're playing against a bad Captain America, he's also frustrating. That's how strong he is.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
hopefully we'll see a good Captain America going into this matchup. We are just waiting for Earl Grey versus Strong World to go up next. Again, this is a best of one, and as strong as Strong World looked in that last best of one, that doesn't mean it'll carry over into the semifinals too. They have to still be careful and take the snowball they had from the quarterfinals, bring it on forwards.
Yeah, and I'm not really sure if we are going to do the exact same map because it really depends if you are doing convoy, if you are doing domination, if you are doing conversion. This is different playstyle also. I know some teams, they are having some difficulties. For you to notice the chat, let's say Virtus Pro, the only game they lost was only in domination. Like they are winning all conversions, they are winning all convoy maps. So this is really interesting to see also if they are playing on a very good map. So yeah, really looking forward on which map are we going to play, and are we going to have the same kind of draft? Because now you got 3 bans, you got 2 picks, you got really important picks that you want to save, like the Emma Frost, maybe the Captain America, maybe the Rocket Raccoon that we've seen, but that's gonna be depending on a team and another.
Now, I have to ask you, we've been seeing a lot of Rocket reserves throughout this tournament. What's the big reason? I thought people didn't like Rocket.
Yeah, so starting season 2, he kinda gets reworked. So basically, his ultimate ability now is not giving only 40% damage boost, but 25% damage boost, and now bonus HP to everyone. So you now kinda having a support ability, a support ultimate, whereas before it was not really played because everyone was like, "Oh, we really need this Luna Snow Fate of both world. We really need this invisible boundaries because it's healing absolutely everyone." And this is kinda why we are doing it right now. And also one of the big resources from him is the resurrection beacon. This is so much important. You are losing someone super fast into a fight, but he can just get back instantly. So this is really important to just get more value out of this pick. And yeah, Raccoon is quite interesting. I still think that Invisible One, Luna Snow, and Loki are probably the best free supports, especially Loki with God of Mischief. You can copy whatever you want, and most of the time it's, of course, Luna Snow Ultimate or Invisible Boundaries. So but still happy we can see, and this is something I really love with Marvel Rivals. We kind of see a lot of picks being just into games. We've seen Hawkeye. This is not someone that we've seen quite a lot recently, so this is good. Of course, the Namor, the Oak, and sometime the Rocket Raccoon. So pretty happy with this one.
So I know we saw him banned out in the last series, so we can't really count that one, but we talked about how strong a lot of the strategist ultimates are, like Fate of Both Worlds, the Invisible Boundary. How do you feel about the triple res comp with the Adam Warlock, Star-Lord, and Mantis?
I think that's still really strong, especially even if Adam Warlock basically get nerfed, and now basically every auto attack he's doing can reduce his healing CD, making him more efficiently. And honestly, in different team composition, that can be really efficient. And maybe we are going to see Earl Grey T and Strong World, maybe one of these two teams running this team composition as we are moving forward into the draft, and that's gonna be Symbiotic Surface, Clintar, Convergence. A map I really like. This is not a map that we've seen a lot in competitive, so really happy to see it.
I think it's funny that Earl Grey immediately come into the picks and bans and gets rid of the Human Torch last game. Remember,
Yeah.
Frostbound went 18-1 last game, and he was responsible for the majority of the actual final blow kills against Astronic.
Yeah, no, honestly, from what I remember yesterday versus Patapim, they always banned the Human Torch because they did some good scouting. And yeah, this is something you can't really let open to a player of this caliber. You were talking about it just before. The Adam Warlock has been banned. We don't want on Strong World to face a team composition with the triple resurrection, which can be really hard to manage, to be honest.
And that's what Sentinels did to beat the 100 Thieves in the MRC Championship back in Season 1, is that they would have used that composition,
Oh, yeah.
and a team like 100 Thieves could not get into the backline. They were stuck fighting the Vanguard the entire time. This was before Emma came out, too. That was even more difficult to puncture something like this. Great ban from Strong World.
Earl Grey once again removing the Captain America because we know Isidore has been playing him amazingly
God.
well. And honestly, I really like the Bucky save also. This is a character that kinda we thought would disappear, but he just received a buff also with the Tainted Voltage having 2 charge, which is quite amazing. And I'm really happy to see him combining also with Groot strangling prison can be amazing. But that's not going to be for this game because Groot has been banned. Of course, one of the best tanks, you don't want to let it open. But we have a lot of good bans. Once again, probably gonna see some Emma Frost. We know how strong she is. On the other side, yeah, you kinda have either Magneto to benefit from the team up, either the Venom from Shidu. He seems to play him quite a lot. And when you want to dive, especially when you know there is no Adam Warlock for the Soulbound, it could be a good idea, especially if you got a flanking character with you.
Yeah, I wanted to mention that we have the anti-dive from Earl Grey off of this Venom. I think this could be good. I don't know what Wyden's going to end up choosing overall. Okay, it's going to be the Winter Soldier. So with only having... Oh, okay, well, I was going to say, with having only 2 strategists, would this be a good benefit to have someone who should be deep heavy into the back lines? But looks like Earl Grey decided to play a little bit more safe for this first point.
So Frost Mountain on the Jeff the Land Shark. So no save because we probably knew Earl Grey T. We're not playing him, and he has been doing so well yesterday. Especially when you combine with the Luna Snow, you got the team up ability, you can do a lot of damage. And you are kind of running a triple support composition, but Jeff is being played as a flank character. And this is kind of what you need to just go and force the lamp from the Loki, and after you kind of free to push.
I'm so glad you mentioned that because Frost Mountain's not going to play as a strategist. He's legit going to play a grounded Human Torch. There's going to be functionally no difference with him.
Oh, you've seen the grab being missed. Unfortunately, we need to put as much damage as you can. And yes, this is exactly what you need to do. You have to burst Jeff instantly or it will be way too annoying for you.
And this is going to be tougher too, because now Strong World, sure, it's not the same character, but Frost Mountain already has as many deaths as he did in the entirety of the quarterfinals. Things are looking scary early on. The Earl Grey T have been holding the line. They are boiled 2-12 and things are looking fantastic, but Legacy once more, using the Emma Beam, holding down the line. Could be up to the Magneto Shido as well. Attempt to make some space, but things have been a lot more difficult for Strong World's end. Isidore was the Hulk back in Midtown. Unfortunately now cannot find the same exact space creation. The problem here though is that with the triple strategist, despite having the Jets and the Winter Soldier, you're not creating enough damage to pressure out this defense.
Oh, Magneto with the good save. That was not enough. And Ashiko right there, finishing up the Psionic Seduction. Can we make it work? 2 people being into it, but we're forcing the fate of both worlds from Aura Stealer with the God of Mischief. Of course, we have the advantage on Earl Grey T. We managed to use the fate of both worlds a few seconds after, so you know you are winning the fight. And they are just running away. They can't do anything. They will need another pick to make sure to go into the point.
Yeah, right now, KQ, the player to look out for. Depending on whether or not Nami can use this Fate of Both Worlds or not, should promote the Goddess of Death. It's all about the pressure that needs to be mounted. Goddess of Death comes first, and suddenly, hey, what do you know? Both Luna ults. And it's up to KQ to try to attempt to pressure out the back line in the process, but the battle is on the front lines. KQ attempts to find some impact. But unfortunately, again, a wealth of damage any which way you look, Lunium. Things have been such a struggle for these defenders now. Things have turned around immensely for Strong World. They're taking so much space.
And Legacy just going into the back line, being punished, so be careful. Do we have a TP from Strange? Whedon moving up on this character, or that's too late. We capture the points, and unfortunately, especially in this part of the map, you don't have the time to do the TP as Doctor Strange, because you have to just move out of the room, and it's taking so much time. So right now, we are going to have 3 Vanguard, because we don't had to switch, so that might be a bit complicated. We might lack a little bit of damage for the next fight, but Strong World looking strong. They still got more than 3 minutes to go into the next checkpoint.
Shidu didn't look terribly comfortable on that Magneto pick either. Switching him over to Thing should be good to have some more pressure onto the front lines. But Frost Mountain's a Wolverine now. That should be a good counter against the Thing. He's already the front line tactic as a Vanguard on his own. Really good to see early on, slaying down everybody. Oniro was there for the double kill himself for the final blows, but the damage has been dealt from Frost Mountain's end. He needs to hide, and he's there for the assassination against Thing. And Earl Grey, they practically lost the second point already.
This is something which is really hard on this kind of map. When you are losing the momentum, you are just going one by one, and as you mentioned, they are almost at the second checkpoint, but they have so many resources. Good kidnapping there from Frost Mountain, and we are just finishing. Hachiko, he didn't have the time to put his diamond form not to get grabbed, and we are going in once again. Frost Mountain with the last 10, triple KO there. We are using the fate of both worlds on both sides, but this is a still 3-3. Name with a good KO, Legacy also on Chido, and that's it. We will have 3 minutes 40 to go till the end of the map.
All it took was one big team fight. Lunium and things are looking fantastic for Strong World again. They struggled to find their footing in the beginning of that first point, but after the domination, they have been easy going onto the convoy itself. Frost Mountain swapping over to the Wolverine has been huge. No other swaps at all from a Strong World side. Isidore, the Magneto, is looking to pressure once again, but he overheats. There's no strategist to heal him. Earl Grey, this is their last chance.
Nice push by them. Earl Grey defending, and where they are basically with the payload, this is really hard to get back from Strong World. They got so many good area to hide and just to save their support. So that's gonna be interesting to see, because we still got the psionic seduction, of course, from Emma Frost from Legacy. That can be quite a clutch for the fight. And also, Isidore will be quite important to look at, especially to do a good Meteor M to remove one support ability. Speaking of good move, KQ with the good KO directly on Frost Mountain, good punishment, and they are just losing time. They need to gather and just push, as we do. Speaking, Isidore on the good KO from QK, and here come the Psionic Seduction. Can we have one? Can we have two? But forcing the fate of both worlds. That's going to be hard to get any KO and any value for there. The lamp is being used. Meteor M going into the KO from Aura Stealer, and the move seems to work for Earl Grey there.
Double crack intact, available now. Earl Grey, almost the first to unleash their first snare-in is Wyden, Oniro, all the same. Absolute unmitigated chaos. Even Wyden is like, what the heck is going on? A little disorienting. But Earl Grey, once again, they looked great with full ults available. They're using 4 out of 6. They only have 2 left, and they've lost another team fight.
We have both Loki ultimates, so the Goddess of Death won't be really useful, except if we are doing a really good focus. And speaking of focus, Sweden on Isidore getting punished with the nice grab there from the Winter Soldier. We have to go back. We need to charge this ultimate. We need to poke a little bit, but not lose too many time, because 1 minute 15 on the clock, and we need to get as much time as we can, because in case it's going into the overtime, we want to have the best bank time.
Goddess of Death available from Earl Grey. The Wolverine hiding in the wait for the perfect time to strike. There it is. A flurry of hits once more. Another group fight emerging. Goddess of Death waiting on you. Greedy the same, has a big ult available. Who's the first to use it? There it is. Which ult was it? I believe Fate of Both Worlds or an Invisible Boundary. I cannot tell. But there we go. Through the clutter of the messes, Aura Stealer all the same, using their ults too. A big fight once more. One so impactful for Earl Grey. It's overtime. What's the point now? Need your M, not available. Double ults once more. Pushing Clintar though, can it be enough? The answer should be yes. Enough time to slow down. 30 seconds are left, but suddenly now Kraken Impact has been found by Oniro. But it doesn't find much. KQ stops it in its tracks.
Nicely done. 10 seconds into this fight. We don't have resources. You need to charge up. We will have Isidore. He might be the most important ultimate ever for him into this game. Frost Mountains also with the last stand. He needs to charge up. He can do a lot. But Legacy falling down. We are 5v6. Can we do it? Can we snipe anyone? That's going to be on the A line. That's not going to be enough. But Frost falling down. Hachi right there. Frost Mountain. He can make it work. They are pushing. This is overtime. We are forcing the left. And that's going to be it for Frost Mountain. He needs to do the perfect last stand to destroy everyone. But invisible boundaries. We can't fight. The fate of both worlds. Once again, Frost Mountain will wait for the invisible boundaries. And here comes the last stand. Can he make it work? Can he make any KO? Unfortunately not. He will get destroyed by Shidu right there. That's a 1-for-1. Isidore taking a good KO on the Frost picking over the Psionic Seduction, not making it work, but the Loki is 1 HP. And here come the Galactic Legends there from Honiro. That's 2 for now. Invisible boundaries being done. What is happening, Geg?
It keeps on going. Overtime, barely having any breath left into this matchup. The fate of both worlds, more like fate of this tournament. We have to see who can survive. A Star-Lord is out now. This Bucky was not finding the damage. The Kraken arm was not enough. A reload now called. Can it work? That's one Vanguard gone. Strong World beginning to disintegrate in front of our eyes, but it's wide to find Oniro. More and more Strong World dissolving. 2 meters away from getting point 3. The fate of both worlds again. The last-ditch effort. And even that's not enough. Frost Mountain, an absolute desperation to lock out the Spider-Man, but he can't even get into the fight. Only 2 rounds given and a great turnaround for Earl Grey.
What a defense. I was not expecting this, especially when they captured the first point on Strong World. They just managed to run again and again. The Earl Grey team couldn't do anything, and they managed to defend quite well for 4 minutes, so we won't have a draw. This is certain. We will have a winner into this map, because sometimes you can just do a draw and you have to play another map. Honestly, super impressed by Shidu also on the Magneto. I think a bit more impactful than Isidore, when Isidore was playing really well the Hulk and the Captain America, but it has been removed obviously from the draft. So let's see now, because Strong World, if they are stronger enough into this defense, maybe they can hold for 4 minutes.
I was really impressed with Legacy on Earl Grey's side.
Yeah.
I thought he did such. I'm sorry, from Strong World side. I thought he did such a great job laying down the law when it came to an opening engagement and just warming up a lot of the players for these final hits off of, say, Oniro. But unfortunately, it just was not enough just yet. It has been a battle of the Vanguards. I do agree with this. We'll have to wait and see as the boundaries lower, how things can play out. Oniro's going to be a big player to keep an eye on, though, with the pure backline potential. Frost Mountain's now in the Winter Soldier, too. Already, Wyden took a wealth of damage off of Oni.
Oniro, you talked about him. We've seen him the previous game. Really good on the Hawkeye. We didn't have the chance to see him quite a lot. So that's going to be interesting to see into this specific map. Especially it's like just a small corridor. You can just throw all your arrows and probably get some headshot and some good picks. But we are fighting directly, super aggressive there. Oh my god. Shidu almost died there with the good grab. Shidu still going in. Hachiko forcing the diamond form. And we will need to wait. We need the pick. We need the pick on Oniro, and this is done, Keg. This is done. We might win quite quickly this fight for Earl Grey, but we don't fall down.
It has been such a great success from Earl Grey. They were great on their defense of holding this first point for the longest time, but Strong World, not the same. Melting immediately. KQ, unfortunately not long for this world. Brino and Greedy, they have their ults available, but there's no real threat to use Fate of both worlds just yet. Greedy does use it to secure point, have the stall potential. Aura Stealer on the other side did proc it for Greedy. Isadora now, Meteor M available. Could assassinate this Emma, but it's already too late. They try to premeditate where this Luna would go, but unfortunately that wasn't even enough. Suddenly now, Strong World, they're holding down the line. As long as these duelists can stay alive, things will look good, but unfortunately, Oniro's not long for this world. It just keeps on going, doesn't it? Reno the same. Frost Mountain, an assassination attempt does succeed. Now it's up to Strong World to hold this defensive line. And Earl Grey, they may have to go back nearly to spawn and reset.
Whedon with the good KO at the very end on Frost Mountain, but he did the job. It was enough, and that's already 2 minutes being down into this game. The fight lasted so long, and now we just need to charge up ultimate, because look at Oniro on the Star-Lord. He got the Galactic Legend, and you don't have any defensive resources from either Loki or Luna Snow. So that might be quite hard for the next fight, because they know they are not charging up fast enough. But be careful to greed in heals, and there comes Oniro with a good KO, good one-on-one on the LR. We are trying to go in again from Urgreti, but we already lost someone. Can it work? We don't have the lamp anymore from the Loki. We are doing so much damage there on this Emma Frost, but she's being healed so well. Aura Stealer with the good healing. We're gonna go for the fate of Buffalo. Bruno pouring down. We got only one healer for Urgreti. We will need to be careful, but because once Greedy won't have his ultimate anymore, that's gonna be game over.
Oh, there we go, into Galactic Legend, bypassing the Luna Snow ult immediately. That Fate of Both Worlds does not find any impact. What a way of dissolving Earl Grey. It's been left out too long in the cup.
Yeah, indeed, it has been done this way. We got Legacy, you spoke about him. The Psionic Seduction will be so important into the next fight. That might be also the last fight of this game. If Urgreti don't manage to find any picks, they won't be able to capture the point. Isidore there on the day of the view. We got the Meteor M. We need to find a good ultimate ability, a good support to just one-shot him and forbidden him to heal anything. Oniro again on the flanking and getting so much damage there into the Ela. Frost Mountain, double KO there on Shido and Bruno. We got the Meteor M. Can we make it work? That's gonna be it from Isidore on Whedon, and it seems that we are winning from Strong World.
Overtime, overtime. It's scary. Earl Grey, they have one last attempt, but Strong World, wow, unbelievable. They completely demolished their second side, and now they've secured their spot in the losers finals.
Congratulations to Strong World. I was honestly expecting Urgreti to make it work and go further to the first point, but it didn't work, unfortunately. Oniro swapping into the Iron Fist at the very end, but really good performance on the Hawkeye and also on the Star-Lord, sorry. Not on the Iron Fist, of course, but also on the Hawkeye. He has been quite impressing. So, really good job on both teams, but that's going to be Strong World. Moving on, the loser bracket final. Who are they going to face? Is it going to be Patapim or Zero Tenacity? This is what we are going to see next, because we're gonna have this best of 3 in a little bit. But Keg, what a game, what a performance from Strong World.
I mean, you said it best. What a game, what a performance. I can't wait to see how the upper bracket fleshes out and who we could see meet up in the grand finals. But we do have to take a small break while we get things set up, swap some casters around, and do a bunch of fun stuff. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
No checks, cause the checks bounce. I don't chat about that, I'm the best out. And I did all of this with a pen and a pad. Shift up the tech, got the notes in the lab. Remember the days when I want what I had. Still want more, guess I'm stuck in the past. First to your last, fast lane, chuck up the deuce when I pass. Give me the loot. Might lose some battles, but winning the war. I get knocked down, I get back up. Get up and go, I stay ready for more. Go to the toe till I level the score. Never gon' quit. Heard you seen some, but you never seen this. Bet on myself 8 times, no trick. Give me the loot. Might lose some battles, but winning the war. I get knocked down, I get back up. Get up and go, I stay ready for more. Go to the toe till I level the score. Never gon' quit. Heard you seen some, but you never seen this. Bet on myself 8 times, no trick. Give me the loot.
Is it really clobbering time already, Ben?
up and go, I stay ready for more. Go to the toe till I level the score. Never gon' quit. Heard you seen some, but you never seen this. Bet on myself 8 times, no trick drips. Give me the loot. See now we going high stakes. This ain't clickbait. This a risk take. This no mistake. I was born to do it. I was born for music. I just get into it. I can't get influence when I'm the influence. No genre music. We go rap back to pop, pop back to rap. Country on the track. I was once broke. I was down bad. Swear I'm never going back. I'm from upstate, where we see a little bit of this and some of that. Little city and some sticks. Watch me put it on the map, someone get attacked. If you're not first, then you're last. Life is a race, don't you lag. I get a bag and I stack. The reason I taxed was not cause they needed me. Got all of mine equally. I see what they need from me, plus.
Welcome back to the Chronovium Cup. I am with Trixler. How are you, Trick?
Oh, I am great, man. Waking up, watching high-level Marvel Rivals. It's a good day for me. This is a great Sunday, even. Probably the best Sunday of the month so far.
That's really good to hear. Yeah, really sunny here also, and we're having a lot of good games. 2 best of 1 already, which went quite well. Strong World looking really strong, as their name is just speaking of. And now we're gonna move to another one. Probably the best 2 team for now, because they are both into the winner final. We got Patapim, of course, also known as OG Sports before they did a bit of changes into the team, and Zero Tenacity. They have been playing together also for a couple of months, so I think we're gonna have a good best of 3.
I gotta ask, where does Patapum come from? And do we have to, like, roll our R's with it? Like, do we commit to this, Lunium? Do we have to get fully focused? Like, every time they pop off, do we have to yell Burr? That's my question to you.
I'm not really sure, to be honest. This is the way I'm pronouncing their team, so yeah. I'm gonna try to do it also. Here comes the pick of maps, which is quite important also, that you can see on the screen directly. We will have first Krakoa from Zero Tenacity. We got on Domination Steel from Patapim. We got Hell's Heaven. This is one of the best map, I would say, especially on the on the Domination maps. And it seems like for Domination, we will go for Hell's Heaven, which is a map I really like. You have a lot of close corner also that you can play, can take advantage. So I'm really happy to see this one first.
Yeah, I like the map choices here for Domination as well. It lets you get a real good understanding of what your opponents are going for. So in match 2 and match 3, you can make your adjustments. But the game plan doesn't really change too much, right? On the convoy maps, you'll have a lot of linear hallways, but things change. You have different chokes. You have to maybe make some couple adjustments. And Domination, aside from the map mechanics that change a little bit, for the most part, the fight is pretty standard and repetitive. So you can try to figure out what your opponents are going for and then try to break them down later on. So nice map bans here. We're in a solid situation, and I'm excited for this best of 3, man.
Yeah, that's gonna be good. And we are jumping directly into the draft. So we're really looking forward to see if Zero Tenacity is playing this Adam Warlock. This is a pick I really want to see. But first thing that we didn't see a lot also is the Groot save. Groot is probably one of the best tanks right now, alongside the Emma Frost also. And yeah, he can do so much, especially with a Winter Soldier, with the Kraken Impact in Strangling Prison. You can do really big combo and do well. And on the other end, a Psylocke save. I know our Poki has been playing the Psylocke, and oh my god, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, Psylocke is one of these great characters that I do what's called off-angle aggression. They're able to get away from their team thanks to their ability to go invisible. They have their shift dash as well, which allows for them to create a lot of space and gap close. So having these off angles can be very beneficial, especially against teams that like to do front-to-back fighting. Look at the bands here real quick. We have a Human Torch band and a Wolverine band. So a couple of major shoutouts here. The Human Torch and Wolverine are both excelling at taking out tanks. In fact, the Human Torch can dive forward and get their shield to go for a headshot. They can burn a half health bar with any tank as long as they don't have a shield. So I like this adjustment. It allows for tanks to be a strong foundation for them.
Yeah, indeed it is. The Jeff ban, which is quite surprising because Patapim, they used to play him a lot, especially Tanuki, but it seems like Jureki on the other end might be just playing him quite well also, and we don't want to ignore that. We want to, yeah, just be like, okay, we got you. We're just gonna ban this pick. The Winter Soldier once again being saved, and this is something I like to see. This is definitely a combo we want to play on the Groot and the Winter Soldier. It can be really good. You can basically wipe the entire team if it's working. And from Patapim, we are removing also the Hulk, which is so strong when it comes to anti-dive, because you can team up with the Namor that's gonna destroy you.
Yeah, also enables Iron Man 2. Just in general, he is a very 2-for-1 bang kind of buck fan. You make sure that you take out a strong tank that is pretty versatile. A lot of people tell you they can play offensively and they can play defensively, and then on top of that, you take away 2 team-ups that are in the game. So I feel bad for poor Hulk. The last 2 seasons, man, he constantly gets banned out because there's so much value in taking him out. If you take 1 character away, you nullify 3. It's just math, right? At that point, if you're staring at an Excel sheet and you're an Excel sheet nerd, you're like, bro, I'm taking out Hulk every time. Now, with that being said, we will have an Iron Man being hovered for the moment. Our 2 front lines are going to be Emma Frost and Groot for Team Berber Patapim, and then Zero Tenacity looking to pick up the same tanks here. Actually, no, excuse me. Berber Patapim is going Magneto instead, with Paulie grabbing Groot.
Orion Groot, love to see this. Enzo has been really strong on the Emma Frost, so maybe he might just play with us and will change at the very last moment. I think the angle is way better for the Emma Frost, especially in here. So you don't have any Wolverine. Even if you can swap to the Diamond form, you are just CC immune and you can't get grabbed. And Wolverine basically on this map is one of the best pick, because you got on a specific part of this map, you just good anti-tank and you can just throw people away on the map, out of the map. So this is really good to see. We will see, but it seems like, yeah, we are just running the exact same team composition, if I'm not mistaken. So that's going to be just mirror versus mirror. We are going to try to take the high ground, or just moving up straight to the point. That might be 2 different strategies, because Zero Tenacity is just on the point, and we take the high ground for Patapim.
Yeah, you have 15 seconds before that objective unlocks, so grabbing the high ground gives you more chance to poke your opponent and find a takedown, which is actually very close to happening there on top of Bucky. But Potty finally moves down, starts grabbing the choke, goes for a couple of pokes, puts down a couple walls as well to try and disrupt the healing there. Meanwhile, the front line is starting to burn down pretty hard for Zero Tenacity. Both are down to half HP, but the healers are coming in, and there's a turnaround, and Berber Patapim will be losing Groot for the first blood. However, at the same time, Zero Tenacity turns around and gets their own take. It's a full-out brawl out here.
Tanuki with a good grab. Can we make it on the Groot? Yes, and Poki with the double there. Alex on Jureki. And first point might be good for Patapim. Even if they just concede the first blood, this was not enough for Zero Tenacity, and Poki already 70% on the ultimate ability. That's crazy. Like, he's such a good Psylocke player. Like, you have to respect it. You have to ban the Psylocke most of the time, and he will put so much pressure. Like, basically with the Psylocke, you are forcing the runes on the Loki, and you are doing whatever you want. You are forcing ultimate ability, probably the Fate of both worlds, or if you prefer, the God of Mischief, depending on who is ulting at the very beginning, but he can put so much pressure.
Yeah, I gotta say, the aggression and the killer instinct coming out from Pokey is very noticeable. I've only seen him for 30 seconds, but his ability to identify when he can get a takedown is pretty massive. Now, with that being said, Berber Patapim is ahead on the objective, 33% to 0, and Zero Tenacity is trying to grab the high ground here, but the problem with being on the high ground, at some point you have to commit. There's a giant Groot gonna land them down, but Luna Snow from Alex is gonna turn this around and easily heal up their teammates. The fight currently underway as both land their Groodles.
There, Tanuki, first good pick from Poki. We got the reset on the clone.
Reset.
Nicely done by Tanuki. Nice reset. We are going to do the same once again. We are just waiting for the fate of both worlds to be done. And we'll go once again. Again, can it work with the good amount? But not taking anyone. We have to just move back. Tanuki with the good K on Duki. We don't have the Kraken impact anymore, but this is way enough to win this fight.
Tanuki may have not gotten multiple kills because he used a Loki clone to his advantage, but he kept the threat of that ultimate up long enough. It's like a cobra wanting to bite you, right, with a lot of poison. Him being able to put himself in a situation where he is going to bite you, force the opposing team to back up. And now Berber Patapim has a beautiful lead of 84% to 0. Now, there is a big changeup that can occur. We're going to keep an eye on TTV Jerky here, as he'll be looking to try and go for the back line and use that Psylocke also they can open the point. However, they've already lost to Emma Frost.
Smash. Can he make it? He got the Kraken impact. He needs to put a good grab, but that was a nice one from Enzo there with the diamond form. Can Enzo fall down? He received enough healing. He needs to hide a little bit more, but Alex, he was 1 HP away, but that's gonna be win for Patapim into the first part of the map. We are going to secure the Super Soldier Factory, and we are moving into the Eldritch Monument, where you can play a bit more high ground into this part of the map, but what a performance from Patapim.
Yeah, Berber Patapim able to grab the 1-0 there, but I gotta commend Zero Tenacity in realizing the situation. The moment they lost Lugia Goat on Emma Frost, they were in a 5v6, and they couldn't really recuperate from that. So what they decided as a team was to hold their ultimate abilities, and they're gonna try to go for this round 2, burn those relatively quickly, and try to grab the objective early. So nice heads-up awareness for them, but we need to see if it's gonna pay off. Looking at the stats right now, look at this. Berber Patapim is currently very ahead in takedowns. They are executing very well. So now it's all on Zero Tenacity. Let's see what you got. Let's turn this around and get our own fights going our way.
4, 3,
You talked about it, they took only the first blood of this game and yeah, didn't manage to secure anything else yet, so they will need to focus a bit more, and we have just 5 ultimate ability. We don't have Lugia Goat. We almost got the Psionic Seduction from Enzo, which can be quite interesting, and Tanuki will charge it up fast. We are on Poki, on the Psylocke. He needs to go in and do a Dance of the Butterfly to maybe force some CD, some ultimate ability, so we can get the advantage from Patapim. The first good poking there on Ducky, already taking a lot of damage. We are turning up ultimate. Point is starting to be captured. We have to fight there, and Poki on the flank, forcing the runes, and he will go in. Both fate of both worlds, and here come the first fight.
Yes, early ult from both Luna Snows, 12 seconds of vulnerability. I am Luna Snow, Dancing Queen! Ooh, but the dancing was not enough. Zero Tenacity losing 2 members. Luna Snow will fall down afterwards. Berber Patapim, and a full lead here of a 6v3 will grab the objective. And I'm not gonna lie to you, man. You mentioned Pokey looking like a strong character, and I was like, all right, let's see if he's got it. He's got it, man. My man's the chef. He's wearing the hat, and he is cooking.
Definitely cooking. We got the first percentage for Patapim there. We are into this choke point. This is really hard to play. They are trying to move into the side of the point, but they are taking so much damage. We still got both God of Mischief ultimate to copy the Luna Snow for the next fight, but look at that, forcing the runes so early, and we know it. Enzo with the Psionic Seduction. We got also Jerky that can't do that much more. He forcing another ultimate ability, but we got so much still into our back. We want to just take another good damage, but here comes the combo finally from Smash and from Jerky there. We got a Quadra with the Kraken impact. We get the reset, and finally we get the point.
Finally, Smash Nez just opening the wall, full Kool-Aid. Oh, yeah! Getting a couple of kicks here on Berber Patapim. Now, with that being said, it is a small amount of relief for Zero Tenacity, and they needed it, truly. They were having a rough time this match. But look over at Berber Patapim. They have 3 ultimate abilities available to them. Groot, their own Bucky, as well as Psylocke for Pokey. They are going to be able to get through and get a choke here, because look at Zero Tenacity. They don't have an ultimate. They need at least Luna Snow to bury those up. Here we go. Groot stepping up, going for a wall, gets the lockdown on Ducky 1. That's gonna be 1 pick right away. Lugia Goat trying to hold the front line, but Winnie can't keep up the heals. He has pressure on the back line. They have to come back and help him, but Psylocke unleashes the butterfly, continues to clear through, and 4 are going to fall. Berber Patapim grabs back the objective, and they are looking for a quick 2-0 victory.
their team's capture progress.
Alex securing a good K on Jerky, but we have Ken falling down, so be careful. We only got 1 support, and Zero Tenacity might take advantage of this. Tanuki still with the Kraken impact. He gets removed from the fight quite fast before, but don't worry, we got Fate of Both Worlds from Alex, so we got enough time to get Ken into the battlefield. We only got still Oasis with the ultimate ability, so be careful not to fall into this fight, because it might be the last one.
Okay, Oasis is going to be the backbone of the fight for Zero Tenacity. Going to have to land this ultimate from Luna Snow, as you were mentioning here. Good news for the team as well, as there are 2 more ultimates about to be built up. Bucky able to grab it. Here we go. He unlocks the again, going for the back line. Loki counters with the runes, being able to provide the heal. Smashes. Gets locked in though by Emma Frost. He has been seduced. Luckily, Luna Snow was able to turn around and get a couple of heals. Smashes goes in, finds a takedown, takes out Nuke MR. Smashes, however, gets hit by Gru and is locked down, and I fear Lunium. This might be the end for Zero Tenacity in this series.
Loki trying to get the one on Oasis. We are still fighting into the fight. Where did answer the butterfly? Will it be enough? Enzo not falling down. He's taking enough heals. No, he will fall down from Juriki. Is it enough? Smashness comebacks, but that's not enough. The clone won't make it in time, and that's gonna be a clean 2-0 from Patapim. Wow, they are here to win fast.
Yeah, Berber Patapim just brought an intensity that I don't think Zero Tenacity was quite ready for, and this is actually good news for them. Now they're fully aware. All right, they have a Psylocke that is pretty deadly. They also have a good layered coordination on their ultimates, so we can really start to target that out in the bans in the future, or make our adjustments as we go forward. But I gotta commend Berber Patapim, man. They were ready today. They ate their Cheerios, they put a couple of oat milk in there, and they were set up and ready to go. What a fun match to start today.
We are speaking about Poki on the Psylocke. Zero death. He's the only one being invincible into this game and putting so much pressure. 10 final hits. Even if he's not having a lot of damage, he's just assassinating. This is why we want this kind of Psylocke. And when the time was coming, he was focusing in just nicely the tanks, because you are an excellent anti-tank also at Psylocke. You can shred a Groot. So Poki, even if it was not him receiving the MVP, because Alex has been doing amazing on the Luna Snow, he's kind of my MVP.
Yeah, I agree with you there. Mostly being able to stay alive on Psylocke is actually a harder task than you would think. I know a lot of people will get picked off by Psylocke and find it frustrating. But Psylocke is one of these characters that if you sneeze on them, they have to walk away and get a heal. But him being able to navigate the fight and call to its healers at the right points and then get back to them and fight heals is a skill in itself. And it is something that I think Zero Tenacity needs to lock in on going into the next round. Maybe not a ban is required, but some DPS changes can occur. One thing in particular that I really enjoy against a Psylocke that we haven't seen much in this tournament is the Thing. The Thing gives damage reduction by jumping to his teammates with E. 30% damage reduction. And that is something that you can use to keep your backline alive. The moment you keep them alive, you turn the fighter right on Psylocke when she's used her abilities. So that's one option that we can look at here.
I would love to see, I know on the other end from Patapim, Enzo is playing the Thing a lot. I know on Virtus Pro, so Nevix is playing the Thing quite a lot. So we'll see if it happens. But yeah, maybe if you are not confident enough on the matchup of the Psylocke, you can remove it. But what are you letting open? Because you can have the Captain America. So it's kind of scary also.
Yeah, that's a good point that you bring up. And one thing that I really enjoy in competitive gameplay is a lot of people kind of look at the draft as a speed bump to get into the game. The draft is a part of the game, and the draft is an important part of the game that you need to analyze and really lock down. That's a great point to bring up. If we ban out Psylocke, what do we leave open? Do we leave another combo open? Is Spider-Man something going to be an issue, right? Things like that. I agree with you. And that's the fun part is we get to watch and just like throw our thoughts out, but these players have to figure it out themselves. Ooh, match 2. Looks like we're picking the math, man.
Convoy, that's gonna be it. And first will be, I think this is the city center from New York that is picked up by Zero Tenacity. And we are picking Yggdrasil Path for Patapim. So which one is going to be selected? It's gonna be drums. It's going to be, surprise, surprise, surprise. Which map are we going to play on?
Give me Yggdrasil,
honestly, I would
man.
love to see, yeah. I would love to see Yggdrasil Path. This is the one I prefer, but we'll see. We'll see. We need to wait a bit, man. And that's gonna be City Center. The pick from Zero Tenacity. So you are Zero Tenacity. You are losing 1-0 versus probably the best team of the tournament, and you got your map. You know you got your plan being set up. So what would they need to change, in your opinion?
Well, first off, I think it's map dependent, right? You need to figure out what exactly you want to do to get around that first initial corner. Everyone knows that on Midnight City here, that first point is probably the hardest one. So I want them to come out guns a-blazing. I would love for them, if they're on offense, it looks like they're going to be on defense first here, to make sure we're watching their flanks and to grab the high ground. That gives you a lot of control and sets you up to be in a situation to where you can make sure you lock down your opponent for a long time. Because if they get around that corner, typically, most teams are able to get to the third point relatively well. So there's a lot of defense here and to be focused on.
All right. Midtown, Convoy. Yeah, it's called Midtown, not City Center.
Midtown, got it. Yeah, you're way better at names than I am, man. You got that. That's why I'm glad you're here.
Yeah. I couldn't remember the name, but now I got it in front of me. we are doing the exact same draft for now. We want to remove the Human Torch. We want to remove also the Jeff the Lane Shark and securing once again Pokey Psylocke. This is maybe a mistake. I'm not really sure, but also we want to remove the Wolverine, which is one of the best tank shredder, and especially Tanuki playing the Wolverine is quite amazing. Saving once again the Winter Soldier, removing the Captain America. So seems like we are doing the exact same draft.
Yeah, it seems like Berber Patapim really wants to get rid of Captain America, because a lot of people think about Captain America and his offensive capabilities, right? He can get on the backline support, to take a lot of resources away from you, and probably get out just fine. But the other part of him, too, is his ultimate is very, very good against assassin gameplay. Psylocke, or even going for Bucky resets, him being able to drop the Avengers ultimate on the back line of his own supports gives them a nice shield, which will keep them alive during those big swinging moments that Berber Patapim are looking for. Ooh, a Spider-Man!
So, I think Alex is playing with us. Alex is normally
breaking
the
our heart?
Luna Snow player. I think so. Yeah.
He's breaking our heart here, dude.
And that's the same with Pokey. Like, I'm a huge fan of Moon Knight. I mean, you can see him from really time to time, but Pokey is not gonna make it. I mean, when you are in attack at the very first point, basically when you are just stealing your spawn, you can have a really good Moon Knight. We've seen that in a recent scrim between Virtus Pro and Patapim. That was Parker playing the Moon Knight, and they might do it. I would love to see that, because Moon Knight is not a character that you've seen quite a lot.
To add another point on top of that as well here that a lot of people not be thinking about, you could actually save your ultimate up to 50% in this game and then switch and keep that 50%. Moon Knight farms ultimates really, really quickly. So you can come around the corner, bounce around your glaives, get up to 50% ultimate, and then switch to a character that complements your teammates a little bit better. On top of that as well, as we have been seeing a lot of tank play with Groot into Moon Knight for a complete one-shot combo. In fact, it was one of the first original one-shot combos in this game. So we'll see how this goes.
And this is what
they duped us.
Yeah, no, I don't like that. So I'm rooting for Zero Tenacity because you're playing too much with us, obviously. We are going into the side lane from Enzo and Pokey. And this is really important. If you can take one fast pick because you don't have a raccoon with the Resurrection Beacon. If you take one pick, especially at this moment in the map, this is almost the point that is won. And this is what they are looking for. Already a lot of damage. You are playing this high ground in defense. You have to play it. But if you are moving down, that's going to be complicated. And that's the case. Polly taking the first blood on the key. And it's going to be complicated for Zero Tenacity here.
Yeah, it is going to be complicated because Berber Patapim able to get around that first initial corner we were talking about. Things become a lot easier here. You have multiple angles to go through. You have 3 points of angles to funnel through. So you have a lot of open space and a lot of objective value that you can get going your way. And Berber Patapim right now are just kind of looking like the better team. They have woken up. They are good to go. And Zero Tenacity is starting to struggle and already forfeiting this first point, it looks like. They are trying to push on Groot to get through, but it's so close right now. And poor Ducky just gets completely eliminated. There's too much damage coming out.
It's literally looking like my ranked games today, and I don't want to speak about this because this is a bad memory. Berber Patapim doing amazing, and they are just running into them. They are taking KO one after another. You can't do anything right now. You got the ultimate advantage, even if Zero Tenacity is starting to get them, and this is going to be so much important. You need to do good team fight, especially with all these resources, because now you are putting only one person from Berber Patapim into the payload. The rest is just zoning, trying to farm the rest of the ultimate, farming the damage and farming the support ability. Oh, be careful, because Enzo is almost down, but what am I saying? He is already full life right now, because oh my god, they are playing so well. And here comes Fate of Both Worlds on the Dance of the Butterfly being done by Jerky. We are moving once again with the again. Can it work? We are not doing enough damage.
Oh my god.
This is going to be the other freaking impact. And that's going to be it from Smash with the double KO there. And we might win this fight.
We are watching a fight poetry in motion right now, layer upon layer. Our teams are literally building a cake, damage on damage into heals, and finally there's going to be a small moment that breaks through, and Zero Tenacity are going to be able to hold the second point. Here is the issue. The first objective was so strong for Berber Patapim, they still have 4 minutes to farm up their ultimates and get ready for another fight. Ooh, big hole coming out on Lugia Go. He's trying to escape, gets a couple of heals, and luckily he was in diamond form, so he was able to survive that. But you gotta be a bit careful here. With that being said, Zero Tenacity does grab the high ground, and they set up to try to defend.
I am ready to put
You kinda want to fight right now for Zero Destiny because you got this defensive ability because Ken and Alex don't have them anymore. Enzo with the good zoning right here on Deep Psionic Seduction. And here come once again Smash and Ducky with a triple. He already got the Kraken Impact reset and they are destroying Patapim and they are making it work. They got the advantage, a fight after another. And oh my god, they folded the payload, someone sneaked in and that was a Paul.
Nice!
But falls down, but still, that was so close.
Yeah, I think we're really seeing the playstyle differences finally coming in. This is a beautiful thing about competitive games, right? On Domination, it looked like Beer Patapim really knew how to set up a round of an objective, right? They killed it there. But here on Convoy, because the elements are changing consistently, Zero Tenacity are focusing on where they have a higher chance to defend, and it's paying off for them here on Phase 2. 2.5 more minutes, Berber Patapim are going to teleport in from behind and change the entire map setup for them. Even while on the mouse, they can just move the objective. They're not forcing takedowns right now. What they're forcing is the objective. But Zero Tenacity does get over there. Here comes a big Groot. Oh, locking down 4. Loki saves it with a beautiful rune, saves his life, and now Groot is able to turn around. He has his own ultimate. He goes for it, goes for the damage. Here comes a wall. Can they get it?
Here Tanuki not working it out, unfortunately that's not doing enough damage and we got another Kraken Impact coming up from Smash this time. Is it going to work? We got the reset thanks to the clone. We got Ludia Goat with Smash securing a good K on Tanuki, nicely done. Ayoma Kamoto from Enzo with a good TP with a double KO on both DPS there. That's gonna be it, probably Poki with the Dance of the Butterfly securing a good K on Oasis. Ducky falling down and what a play by this Doctor Strange.
That is one of those fights that we have to sit down and go frame by frame on. So much execution, so much playmaking happening for each team, but the person that's going to be able to walk away with the final blow is Enzo. Beautiful Dr. Strangeal, and we actually have Tanuki here playing on the Spider-Man. He used that to actually get there a little bit on the quicker side, and is now going back to Bucky. Spider-Man has one of the fastest reinforcement times in the game, so if you can learn him as a backup pick, you can definitely use him in scenarios where it works out. So cool to see that there. Now, objective has been grabbed. Berber Patapim has a total of 2 minutes and 40 seconds to grab this third objective.
This is still a really good time to get into the end of this map, but this is not done. Zero Tenacity still got some resources here. We are trying to contest a little bit because we don't want to let them free push. Here comes Strangling Prison there from Ducky, not working, but we got it from Poly. Ken with the Fate of both worlds, thanks to the God of Mischief. We're gonna go in Poly with a good Strangling Prison. Can it work? Poly with a good KO on Smash. We are going in. Can we secure Tanuki with a good first reset? We are going in again. Is it going to be again? No, unfortunately, because the Fate of both worlds is still here. We are having Jerky, of course, with the Dance of the Butterfly not working out, but we are taking a really good KO there on Alex. We got only one support for Patapim.
One pickoff is always nice here, and of course Zero Tenacity will have the faster reinforcement time. They have Defender's advantage. So Berber Patapim is actually waiting here because Emma Frost just dropped her ultimate from Lugia Gold, trying to go for the seduction. Sadly, no one gets seduced. Hate it when that happens. Winnie now is a situation where they have their ultimate as well, so they can go for a second Luna Snow ult they need to. Here comes Bucky as he tries to go for a combo, but he is deleted instantly. And now Patapim will take the opportunity to step up.
Enzo doing so much damage. Fate of both worlds almost being down, and we don't have any support ability anymore. We will have Poly quite soon with Tanuki. That might be the last fight here. We need to shield, and this is what is going to happen. Poly and Tanuki, the combo working once again. Tanuki with the double, Enzo securing a good KO on Lugia Goat, and that might be it. We might secure another KO, and we will push in 1 minute still into the time bank, and that's a really good time. Now, Zero Tenacity, you have to cap all 3 points, or this is gonna be the loser final for you.
Lunia, man, I got a good feeling about this matchup here. Berber Patapim able to grab the 3-0, but it definitely did not come easily, especially on that second phase. Zero Tenacity putting up a miracle defense. My only concern with Zero Tenacity is being in a tournament and you have lost the first round 2-0, and then you put up a good fight in the second round, but you still wind up losing. You can feel a little deflated. So my hope is right now, their comms are just at an all-time high, communicating what they need to do, how you work together. We need to get this win right now, because if we don't get it, we're going down to the losers bracket. So Zero Tenacity got to focus up right here right now.
Quick look at the stats, and yeah, I want to highlight this time not Poki but Oli with 15k damage with so much good strangling prison from the Groot, and combining with Tanuki, of course, with the Winter Soldier Kraken impact. That was amazing. We got both the same strategy on both sides, and it seems like it worked out a little bit more for Patapim. But let's see, because it can change everything. What can happen also is just going straight into the free for Zero Tenacity and having a better time, so they will have the advantage for the overtime.
Very aggressive positioning here. I kind of like it. It is going to be a little bit rough if you get picked off here, but Berber Patapim being up in the front lines allows him to keep this opposing team stuck in one choke. Now, there is another way to go around here, but most teams don't usually use that often. Now, here, oh no, here's the issue for Berber Patapim. If they lose their Groot, and they do. Okay, so they lose their front line, and this should give a lot of wiggle room here for Zero Tenacity to step up. The good news is there is a Rocket Raccoon here, so they're able to respawn him pretty quickly, but they can't make that mistake again.
This is a strategy we've seen quite a lot from Patapim, with Tanuki just playing Raccoon at the very beginning to get a Resurrection Beacon, and they are sure they can just go back into the fight after that. So first fight is being won by Zero Tenacity, and you spoke about it also. This Squirrel Girl, right now, we only got one support, because Whiny usually is playing a support, and what you are doing is basically just charging up an ultimate to get it faster. Oh, what an aggressive TP!
Yeah, it's the best defense and aggressive offense. Another teleport coming in from Patapin, just going for a lockdown, but Jerky turns around and drops the entire moon on their face. Inzu will get picked off. Jerky able to find a couple of pickoffs. However, Chinook was able to get off one more respawn. The portal still is up and available, but Jerky now trying to fight while they're moving the payload. They're in such a weird position. Venom Swap is going to be coming out here for a second from Lucio, so he can try and get to the fight on a quicker side. Meanwhile, support available for Alex and Ken, if they're going to be able to use their ultimates. Have they actually effectively shut this down by just running brawl numbers at them? Yes, they have. Pokey comes in again, and they're able to defend well. I can't believe that worked out. What an aggressive defensive strategy.
I will need to watch the fight again, because when you are picking up with the end of Khonshu 2 KO in a row and you're still losing the fight, there might be something wrong there. But Enzo coming back with the Venom, because he can come back quite fast. Obviously, Ducky with the good KO on Poly, forcing Alex with the Fate of Boford. And we still got Tanuki on the Rocket Raccoon there, so you got the Resurrection. You still got your tank being alive there. Good double KO from Enzo there with the Feast of the Abyss. And it seems we are hungry for victory for Patapim.
Dude, I am so impressed by his defense. They essentially are throwing raw, meaty bodies at their opponents, and it's starting to work out. Zero Tenacity was completely caught off guard, and you mentioned that Moon Knight ultimate, it was able to be built up just at the right time for when Doctor Strange came in portals, and they were still able to pull up the fight. So impressive. Here comes an Eye of Agamotto, multiples. Luna Snow will provide the ultimate, though, to prevent that from being too effective, and Polly is forced to retreat.
Fighting still continuing, Enzo with the good shielding. He is able to just move out. We will copy the Fate of Boford. That's going to be the case. Also, Oken, that's going to be 12 seconds of fighting the key. And that's nicely done with Smash. Again, can you get the reset? Tanuki with a good Resurrection Beacon on Poki. But it seems like Zero Tenacity will win this fight once again with the Strangling Prison. And that's going to be again and again. And that's going to be another one. And that's going to be a full team from Zero Tenacity. But we are having probably one more fight to go to. If Patapim is defending the next fight, they will win this map.
Wow. Okay, so Zero Tenacity trying to get around the corner here. You see Ducky already setting up, trying to make sure he doesn't get split. Ooh, I like that movement by Rocket Raccoon here, coming over here on the side. And it looks like Berber Patapim will be able to get in a situation that's strong. Now, before we get into this fight, I gotta shout out Smash Nance. He's playing out of his mind right now. Dude's armpits are so sweaty. Enzo will get picked off, but will be respawning in pretty quickly here. Meanwhile, Ken providing heals for his front line. Smash Nance finally goes down, though, but Zero Tenacity in a 5v6 and fighting for their life.
Enzo, look at him, he's just into the back line, managing 4 people. So during this time, Tanuki can just take a good KO. Paulie there with the double, no support available anymore, and it seems to be done because Poki is here on Jerky. Lugia will fall down. We only one more chance. Smashnez is alone, and that's gonna be it. Patapim is winning this match.
2, 3.
What an impressive series between these two. It's going to be 2-0, and to be quite frank with you, the domination maps went very heavily into Berber's favor, but second map was a much stronger back and forth. It just seemed like, unfortunately, Smashnez and Cruz were unable to pull it together, but huge shout out to Berber, man. I love that aggressive defense. Typically you don't see that, especially when you are ahead 3-0, but perhaps it's why they did it. They realize they have a 3-0 lead in their opponents, and if they screw it up, then they have time to really try to stabilize. But that scenario, they didn't have to. What an incredible defense. I'm gonna have to watch that again, man. I'm gonna get the replay on this one. That was fun. That was good.
Yeah. Yeah, it was insane, and I want to highlight also Smashnez with 15 final hits, top damage, so
Yeah.
really good performance. That won't be enough for Zero Tenacity, obviously. They will fall down into the loser bracket final versus Strong World. That's going to be a really good match, and honestly, Patapim, amazing strategy. We didn't see that strategy a lot in Midtown, but this Tanuki playing Raccoon with just the triple support you get back from Paulie also with the Doctor Strange. So you are just super aggressive. We've seen a little bit of other team doing the same in Spider Island, but we will have some more action in a little bit with Keg coming back to commentate with Trixler. That was a pleasure. We will see you in a bit.
Sweat and tears from the frequency, now you believe in me. Cheers for me. Give me the loot. Might lose some battles, but winning the war. I get knocked down, I get back up. Get up and go, I stay ready for more. Go to the toe till I level the score. Never gon' quit. Heard you seen some, but you never seen this. Bet on myself 8 times, no trick. Just give me the loot. Word on my palm at the top of the game. Still unashamed, no one to blame. Took all the L's and I rose in the pain. Can't have the sun without seeing the rain. And it rained down when the rain came. See the time change, rolling plain Jane. You and me are not the same, stop saying things. Yeah, they talk, I don't say a lot. I just walk, so I'm moving loud. Really keep it low key, I don't like crowds. Really keep it OG, I don't like clowns. Really keep it just me, I'm the best out. I don't try to keep up, I don't stress out. I don't cash no checks, cause the checks bounce. I don't chat about that, I'm the best out. And I did all of this with a pen and a pad. Shift up the tech, got the notes in the lab. Remember the days when I want what I had. Still want more, guess I'm stuck in the past. First or last, fast lane, chuck up the deuce when I pass. Give me the loot. Might lose some battles, but winning the war. I get knocked down, I get back up. Get up and go, I stay ready for more. Go to the toe till I level the score. Never gon' quit. Heard you seen some, but you never seen this. Bet on myself 8 times, no trick. Just give me the loot. Might lose some battles, but winning the war. I get knocked down, I get back up. Get up and go, I stay ready for more. Go to the toe till I level the score. Never gon' quit. Heard you seen some, but you never seen this. Bet on myself 8 times, no trick. Just give me the loot.
A nice deep freeze.
Give me the loot. Might lose some battles, but winning the war. I get knocked down, I get back up. Get up and go, I stay ready for more. Go to the toe till I level the score. Never gon' quit. Heard you seen some, but you never seen this. Bet on myself 8 times, no trick. Just give me the loot. See now we going high stakes. This ain't clickbait. This a risk take. This no mistake. I was born to do it. I was born for music. I just get into it. I can't get influence when I'm near fluence. No genre music. We go rap back to pop back to rap. Country on the track. I was once broke. I was down bad. Swear I'm never going back. I'm from upstate where we see a little bit of this and some of that. Little city and some sticks. Watch me put it on the map. Someone get attacked. If you're not first, then you're last. Life is a race, don't you lag. I get a bag and I stack. The reason I tax was not cause they needed me. Got all of mine equally. I see what they need from me. Blood, sweat, and tears from the frequency. Now you believe in me. Cheers for me. Give me the loot. Might lose some battles, but winning the war. I get knocked down, I get back up. Get up and go, I stay ready for more. Go to the toe till I level game, still unashamed, no one to blame. Took all the L's and I rose from the pain. Can't have the sun without seeing the rain. And it rained down when the rain came. See the time change, rolling plain Jane. You and me are not the same, stop saying things. Yeah, they talk, I don't say a lot. I just walk, so I'm moving loud. Really keep it low key, I don't like crowds. Really keep it OG, I don't like clowns. Really keep it just me, I'm the best out. I don't try to keep up, I don't stress out. I don't cash no checks cause the checks bounce. I don't chat about that, I'm the best out. And I did all of this with a pen and a pad. Shift up the tech, got the notes in the lab. Remember the days when I want what I had. Still want more, guess I'm stuck in the past. First to your last, fast lane, chuck up the deuce when I pass. Give me the loot. Might lose some battles, but winning the war. I get knocked down, I get back up. Get up and go, I stay ready for more. Go to the toe, I level the score. Never gon' quit. Heard you seen some, but you never seen this. Bet on myself 8 times, no trick. Give me the loot. Might lose some battles, but winning the war. I get knocked down, I get back up. Get up and go, I stay ready for more. Go to the toe, I level the score. Never gon' quit. Heard you seen some, but you never seen this. Bet on myself 8 times, no trick. Give me the loot. Some battles will win in the war. I get knocked down, I get back up. Get up and go, I stay ready for more. Go to the toe, I level the score. Never gon' quit. Heard you seen some, but you never seen this. Bet on myself 8 times, no trick. Give me the loot. See now we going high stakes. This ain't clickbait. This a risk take, this no mistake. I was born to do it.
Oh, we're finally back. We had to mine a
my
little bit
God.
more Chronovium between the break. I know, right? I mean, look, we got locked down in the
scared.
mines for a while. You had to rescue me. Unfortunately, we lost Lunium, but that's okay. We'll find him at some other point, maybe the next tournament. But it's good to see everybody again. We are heading towards the end of this tournament now. My name is Keg, and I'm joined by Trick once more. We've seen some pretty amazing games so far, man, and now we're heading towards the very end.
Yeah, I'm all about high level competition, but before we get into it, man, can I just like mention your hair, bro? How do you get your hair like that? Do you wake up like that, or is it like a
Yeah.
style thing? Oh
you,
my
you
god,
gotta, you gotta ask my parents. My hair's messy today, dude. I didn't style it or
Dude.
anything. Usually I wear a headband. It grows really quick. Some say I'm maybe part snuffleupagus,
Oh,
but
okay, all right.
I don't talk to that part of my family too much.
I wouldn't either. They're
Yeah,
troublemakers.
Thanksgivings get kind of weird. But Zero Tenacity, I mean, they did a pretty dang good job so far and bringing things home. And I'm really curious if you could give us a quick TLDR of what we can expect to see into the next series.
Yeah, Zero Tenacity was doing a very, very good job in terms of defense, especially on convoy maps. And remember, we are going to be in a best of 3 here for this losers final. I did feel like their domination gameplay wasn't as strong, and we're going in domination here for match number 1. Now, that could have just been because Berber Patapin was so locked in, they were struggling with it, especially the Psylocke. So I want to see them, if they have to handle aggression like that again, make a couple of adjustments, because honestly, they do have some very good players. Smash in particular, I was enjoying on Bucky.
Yes.
He was nailing headshots, and he knew how to go in at the right time, but there were just a couple of moments where it seemed like the teamwork was just slightly off against the strategy of Berber.
Look, Twitch chat's been obsessed over Smash. I've been watching the whole
Have
time. Hell yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's
Oh, yeah.
always good when you
They're
align with Twitch chat.
Smash fanatics. Yeah, no, you always want to stay on their good side. And I mean, he's been putting up numbers. So I'm definitely going to be looking at him as one of the top players going into the rest of this tournament. I want to see
Yeah.
what he can bring to the table. But for the most part, going back to your original point about some teams being better on more convoy maps, others on domination maps, I think that's what makes part of this game unique, is that there's enough different
Yes.
modes that teams will naturally shine in some aspects more than others, and does naturally lead to more full-ended best of 3s or best of 5s.
And what's cool about it too, and the reason why I kind of like have been watching esports for the years of my life, is that you get to witness different strategies. For instance, in our last matchup against Zero Tenacity, Burr actually did an aggressive defense, which is something that I have not seen much of in tournaments. They were able to do a layered aggression. The first one didn't pay off as well. Zero Tenacity thought for a second that they had snatched victory from the jaws of potential defeat, and then suddenly they portaled in and came in from behind. And that's what we're here for. We want to see what Zero Tenacity is cooking up and what Strong World has cooking up, and then we get to figure out which one's the best, which one can be adjusted based on your players, and you can take that into your own games, man. Like, this is why esports rocks, and that's why I'm so excited for this tournament. And, you know, I want to shout out the production. I want to shout out the people that run this tournament, and of course Twitch chat for being here, because you guys make this all possible, and it's just fun to be able to watch.
Yes,
for real.
so please keep watching these tournaments. We need you to have it survive.
Engage, follow, converse. If you like them just as much as we do, even a little bit, just 5%, a like here, a follow here, tweeting at somebody, letting them know your
Snail
favorite
mail.
casters, all that stuff, Matt. Yeah, I mean,
Send them a
maybe not on the
telegram.
snap. I might not get there until
Smoke
next year,
signals.
but I do like the idea of, like, on Sunday, you and I jump into a grand finals, and the world just smoke just starts going all over the world, and we
Like,
pollute
wow,
the
they're really
skies, and then-
communicating with us today. they're
Aliens are like, what's going on Earth?
Like, all right,
Yeah, let's
fine,
do
we
that.
won't invade today, God. But we're just ready to get into picks and bans. We're just letting everything get set up behind the scenes. Has there been one specific character that's really stood out to you today?
Well, I mean, as mentioned earlier, I'm a Vanguard main, so I love watching Emma
You're one of
Frost.
those players.
Do wonder. Yeah, I'm one of those players, bro. I do wonder if she might be slightly overtuned, but I do like watching in the competitive environment how people are managing her telepathic pulse, right? Her left click. Being able to keep that low, because if you do get it to 100%, you're doing 150 damage per a second, which means about 6 seconds you can kill a Hulk. Right? So, like, watching that engagement and watching that flow, because she does have a slightly smaller range than most Vanguards. It's only 15 meters. I like watching competitive players handle that and keep her away from getting to full strength. I think it's fun.
Made up of five.
Yeah, for real.
That's what the real skill
I
is.
wish... I started doing squats, actually, the day I started playing Emma Frost. I was like, you know what? If she can do it, I can do it, too. She's inspiring. She really
yeah?
is.
Are we gonna see a cosplay?
I was thinking, yeah, definitely the blue lipstick, but I don't know if I can pull that off, man. That beard might just cover it. We'll let you do it first. If it looks good on you, maybe I'll copy
I would rock the Emma cosplay. I already got the ties. I can put on the lipstick. I'm so down, dude. But what
All
I'm
right.
also down to see are some of the references coming out from Stronghold. I'm not going to focus on the picture band just yet. Iron Fist,
Yeah.
Magic, Squirrel Girl, Black Panther. There's absolutely no way this is the actual.
Yeah, I'm starting to get a trust issue with the Marvel Rivals competitive community because they always are hovering these characters, and I'm like, no way, bro. And then my brain starts rolling, and I'm like, maybe, you know, possibly, and then this could work, and then they just switch at the last second to whatever they're really, really strong on. But it's cool that, like, we are in a world of balance with this game. I know some people have balance complaints here and there, but usually most characters, especially in an environment where everyone's working together, can be played in some way or some form, and they clash well with different competitions. And it's cool that we can start theory crafting the moment people are hovering things.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's the real beauty of the game like that. Really, the
Yes,
balance is going to come through from how you can play off of other characters. And actually, characters are going to get balanced outside of tuning numbers as more characters get released. But we do have the reservations of the Jeff and the Captain America. This is looking to be a much more punchy composition from Zero Tenacity if they go through and play both of them. But the Emma Frost and the Winter Soldier reserves coming out from Strong World tell me that this should be a lot more of a traditional composition.
Yeah, they're looking for their easy resets, their setups as well. They are missing that CC from Groot that makes it easier for Bucky to go in, but usually we've been seeing a lot of Loki being played, which is allowing for a lot of Winter Soldier to be backed up. Winter Soldier in the last patch was nerfed slightly, to the point where he has a 44% win rate in ranked gameplay, but he's still strong in competitive gameplay because of the reset factors and being able to work out with the team. And with Loki coming up, because you could actually reset on those clones, and we've seen it used wisely, he's now a strong pick in general. And actually, with this shows up, we have Loki once again for both our teams, and luckily for both teams, we do have a Winter Soldier as well. And we do have Winter Soldier being played by Frost Mountain, and in our Discord, there were some fans of Frost Mountain. They called him the 16-year-old freak. Apparently,
I would
he is
not call
deadly.
anybody that, but okay.
in a good way, in a good way. No,
Sure.
not like a
Sure.
not like a Hunchback of Notre Dame, like freaky, like alien aim.
Sure.
I'm not flaming anyone here, I promise. I'm new. I'm here at the party. I'm chilling. I like everyone. We're vibing.
Sure. Yeah, we'll take your word for it. I do want to mention, though, that the triple strategist going against Strong World's pretty similar to what Astronic tried to do against them earlier today. Zero Tenacity. They could find more success than Strong World, Astronic did. But again, it was a lot of the Jeff shutdown not finding the same potential. Smash Des, though, finding a lot of impact in the previous matchup. Jerky this time may be able to backline a lot more. That was more of the job of the Human Torch back when Frost Mountain was able to play in that series. But we'll have to wait and see how it plays out.
Yeah, Jeff is such an interesting playstyle that's continuously being developed, and those sharking flanks that come in from Jeff the Shark can be so devastating, especially when you pair it with Luna Snow. That's the only issue right here, is we don't have Luna Snow being paired with him for that team up, but we'll see how this all will pay off. Objective is now available, and we begin the aggression. High ground already being lost, and Loki, Aura Stealer, gets her aura stolen, and she'll get picked off. Or he gets picked off, sorry, excuse me.
Jerky doesn't even need to have the Luna Snow buff in order to find impact. His collaboration with Lugia Go has been fantastic, and he just keeps on going. This Captain America reservation, you can see why they needed him to go through. His frontline potential has been unbelievable.
Yeah, it really has. And you already see Jeff the Shark setting up here for Jerky to see where the opposing team is spawning from. Going to get a couple of pot shots on them and hopefully build up their ultimate. This is one of the appeals of playing a Jeff the Shark, right? You can grab this high ground and get a little bit of free poke, and then you have some of the fastest movement speed in the game. You're able to dash away, and you have damage reduction when you're under the land as well. So Jerky really used that to their advantage. Already having some poke coming in their way as Strong World and crew try to step up.
This has been a slow start for a lot of games Strong World has been a part of. They've always needed that time to adapt and bring up their ults in order to whittle away, especially the attacking teams they go up against. Jerky's up in the air though, right clicks galore, finding so much impact but very little counter against him. He's able to reposition fast. Lugia is the big problem though. At the same exact time, Smash finds yet even more impact. Legacy falls, that's one Vanguard gone for Strong World. It's up now to the strategist to somehow stay alive with Isidore rocking the Captain America back, but he hasn't been able to find the same eye test.
Jerky also fell a bit earlier, but he's already on the way. But now it's time to start the resets, and here we go. Frost going for the resets. The 16-year-old is just cooking through people. Multiple people falling. Goat falling as well. It's gonna be 5. Already looking at the Loki here, using the time here to make sure it has his reset, trying to prolong it as fast and as long as they can. They are able to grab the objective, and now it's all about controlling these points here as Strong World finally gets on the board.
Keep in mind, Zero Tenacity, 70% now. It's going to be a tough fight for Strong World. They have to win this next fight. They have to win the ult dumpage. They have to make sure they can regain this control. Zero Tenacity lose this and regain control. That'll be the end of point number 1. But it continues on once more. The doppelgangers are out, and the mana regeneration provides a steady stream for Isidore to get a pathway to escape. However, that means now you have one less Vanguard, Strong World. Can they maintain themselves with just Legacy? The answer is a heavy no. Oniro's the only survivor of the onslaught. Even he's not long for this world.
Yeah, at this point, you usually get to a situation where you just need to go ahead and get picked off. Captain America's trying to build a little bit more time on top of the objective here. Gets it to 47%, but Zero Tenacity in a commanding lead, 4% to 47. And here's the thing. Not the character. There are 2 ultimates still available for Zero Tenacity. They have Jerky here. You can grab a couple of people and just try to section off the team fight. And then you have Lugia Go with Captain America being able to avenge.
Hey, the problem is, though, you don't even really need ultimates for Zero Tenacity's playstyle. They are able to triple prong their way through Strong World with the hands of the Jeff, the Captain America, and Smash Des on that Winter Soldier. They are able to take away so many different lines of sight that Strong World don't know what to focus on. Jerky is able to take away Oniro, though, send them so far away. A death sentence in of itself. But Zero Tenacity, once more, winning all of these fights. Oniro inadvertently saved from destruction by Jerky. He's not able to help his team. Point 1 heavily in Zero Tenacity's favor.
Really holding it down there and winning in a really interesting point on Krakoa there. I actually haven't used that to myself. Getting on the high ground, I'm able to just see the entire objective and provide heals. It's one of the reasons why Loki is so strong. His attack actually isn't a hit scan. It's actually a sphere that when it connects with the ground, it's able to explode. So you can get both healing damage and damage on the opposing team. So you get 2-for-1 value. Great positioning by him. And here we go into our second round. I am a bit worried, though. Look at the ultimate charges. There's only Aura Stealer close to 100% and Legacy having the ult. We need Frost Mountain to build his ult up as well. So they're going to take a little bit time to get there. So I don't know if they're going to get that first initial pick they're going to be looking for.
I'm going to be honest, I don't think the issue is the ultimates here for Strong World. I think it's the fact that they don't know what to focus on as a team. Lugia is providing so much frontline potential, but just as soon as they all focus on Lugia, there's a problem. It's Jerky. He's backlining, taking away all the HP of not only the strategist, but someone like Oniro too, who tried to elevate things with his verticality off of the Star-Lord. That didn't work. So now Oniro swaps to the Hela. This needs to be a solution with a much more condensed site. This could work out well for them.
Okay, here we go. We'll find out if they can do it. 10 seconds for the mission to unlock. Strong World already grabbing that front spot, putting a lot of damage on Ducky. Well done there, getting them relatively low on HP. And both the tanks will be able to hold this left angle. Same time, though, we're going to have an ultimate coming out from Loki as he tries to go in for a setup. Lugia, meanwhile, goes in for their own fight, but Lugia gets picked off, and Strong World already grabs their first takedown.
And look at the stall potential, waiting for Lugia to get back. Oasis brings out the invisible boundary. Frost Mountain has Kraken Impact ready to go as soon as he's able to find that comfortability. Keep in mind, though, there's another invisible boundary. As soon as it all procs up, though, on top of Emma's ult, there we go! Impact has been found, destroying everybody. Just as Lugia responds back. We talked about that triple prong, right, Trick? Problem is, though, is that if you're not a part of the Golden Three, you're really just cannon fodder.
Yeah, you really can just kind of get picked off there. Smash did make an interesting adjustment too here. We're moving into Hela. Hela brings a lot of more consistent DPS available in terms of being able to get those picks off, but you do run into a situation where you are relatively squishy and don't have as much mobility. You do have that one bird form, but when that's off cooldown, you can usually get deleted. So we're going to see how that's going to be paying off for them as we run straight into it. And he will, of course, have the ultimate available as well. So you're usually going to see a couple of pokes, and they're going to try and bird form in, and then go straight into the air and start raining hell upon their opponents.
I'd be very scared if I'm Strong World facing up against my own back line. Smash that
Oh
should have got us a death momentarily. That's Isidore gone. The shields are available. The left click, a mastermind, sending down everybody. And there it is. Just as soon as you're threatened out. No, never mind. That's not
It was the other one.
That's Oniro's. Oniro's going to lay down the pressure in response to the deaths up against them. Isidore is so staggered from the rest of his team. And Lugia is there for the follow-up himself. Another team wipe from Zero Tenacity.
I am legitimately so impressed with Smash there. First off, nailing the headshots, which is something that you have to do if you're going to be playing Hela. Second off, not panicking there after seeing the opposing team using their ultimate and you being low on HP. He really believed in his healers, got healed up, and was able to clean up foes on the opposing side while saving his ultimate. Well done there by Smash.
All right, the ult cycling is looking good for Strong World, though. 58%. It's an inverse of what point number one looked like. Strong World into the second fight. They were the ones facing against Zero Tenacity at 70%. But now Zero Tenacity are building it up themselves. In a few seconds, it'll become an even game once more. Goddess of Death has reigned supreme in seemingly the perfect location. But unfortunately, the invisible boundary comes up just in time. And recognizing the fact that I can't get much, Smash says, let's go with Goddess of Death into the Jeff ult. Sending how many players? Oh,
one Magneto will get picked off. Oh, Emma going for the catch herself. Didn't quite get it though, healing a bit too much. Oasis will fall at the same time. Nami keeping up these heals on their front line. It is a 4v4 currently on the point. And with Captain America really bringing the damage, it looks like it's going to be just fine as they find one more pickoff on Lugia Go. And Zero Tenacity is going to have to forfeit the point. And we're all tied up, 62-62. What a battle.
Been tougher. I'm wondering now if Jerky's finding the same impact on Jeff that he did in point one.
Yeah. I mean, I think there's like way less open space on this portion. Look at this. There's so many different chokes, different funnels, so you can't really have that splash damage you're looking for Jeff, and you can't really get on the high ground as easily. A lot more areas that you can kind of surprise your opponent. But you're right, Jerky here still keeping up the heals. Loki gonna go ahead and pop the rune here for Strong World. They try to step on forward and keep getting this objective. 88, 89, the point continues to climb, and Zero Tenacity has to do something, but they just lost their Shark.
Yeah, I'm wondering now, is the Shark going to swim away, turn into something else? The answer is no. Maintaining Jeff's prowess, Lugia Goat again, helping out in the front line, has to bring out his assembly. This is good though.
Oh, they get it!
Vanguards are fighting so much. In fact, everyone on Strong World are melting away. And this is the chance for Zero Tenacity to bring things to double overtime.
We may be able to get there pretty quickly. 67% already built up. Strong World just now respawning, waiting on one more of their players, and they'll be able to step up and handle their opponents. Lugia Goat going for a large flank on the left side here, trying to find some kind of angle, some way to be able to break on through. Zero Tenacity did use a lot of their ultimate power here, though, in the last fight, while Strong World just unlocked Logi's.
Off angling once again from Jerky. Even if it doesn't find a kill, keep in mind it's going to drive crosshairs away from Lugia.
Yes, sir.
Who needs the help. This is good though. Willie's up above. Another group fight once more. A final attempt for both of these teams. The double invisible boundary neutralizes both. But Aura Stealer uses their all at the same time. Name has their invisible boundary still kept alive. They use it now.
Ooh,
though,
Hella
on top
goes
of the Goddess
up.
of Death. Absolutely. And this is good. That means an extra stall. That should provide a big benefit for Strong World.
Jeff was at 98%, was looking for a big ult. He wanted one more right click and couldn't get it, so he will fall for Zero Tenacity. Lugia Go in a situation where they're trying to get their heals, but the numbers are falling. They are dwindling quick. Strong World in a 6v4 right now. Overtime at the last second. Here comes the portal. Will they commit to it? Big ult coming out from Oasis to buy time for Tenacity. Can they get here in time?
Let's find out. Goddess of Death once more. Reigning supreme. The shields are out. Broken immediately by this ult. Smash has to evade. Run away. Buy for time. A sliver of overtime left for one of these teams. An ult comes out from Jerky. It's Jeff, baby. Smash Dance does take out Frost Mountain. And look at this. A quick cleanup from Zero Tenacity.
Oh my
they have
gosh.
to reclaim. It's back to an OT reset. Zero Tenacity, they win the fight. And they convert the second
They have a
game.
portal coming.
Oh, but it's
Can
too
they
late.
get in? It's a sliver! Just barely missing out on it. What a back and forth there towards the end. Zero Tenacity able to grab just enough, though, to grab the 2-0 and grab that first round. But, man, it did not come easily at all, did it, Keg?
No, by no means. And I was really worried about Jerky in that second point, but I think he really stepped it up and helped out Lugia when it mattered most. I love the way everyone on Zero Tenacity were able to play off each other's roles so well.
They really were. Wow, that was such a treat to watch. And literally, it was like a half frame second away from Strong World maybe being able to wrestle it back. That was the definition of a tug of war. And that's really what these type of domination maps are all about, using every single resource to edge out a slight victory. Now, in terms of takedowns, honestly, if we're looking over at these stats right now, looking at Zero Tenacity, they were pretty much cooking. Smashness once again with the final hits, a total of 13. And typically that's something that you're going to look at for a lot of DPS players for sure. My gosh, good job by him.
I think just overall, Zero Tenacity just played better. I think every group fight, for the most part, won in Zero Tenacity's favor. And for maybe individual fights, sure, Smashness played incredibly, but it just was not enough.
Sometimes it be like that, man. It really does. Okay, so we'll be getting ready for our next series, which we should be switching into convoys, and we're going to see if the type of playstyles are going to continue paying off for them like that. Will we see more Jeff? Do you think that Jeff was annoying enough to warrant a possible ban?
I mean, you have 3 bans. I could see the reality of a Jeff ban coming through. Maybe. It just depends on whether or not you have an actual strategy in game to counter it.
Sure. Yeah, it seems like Captain America being open kind of lets the opposing team to get on top of Jeff. Not even if you kill him, but if you get him to a point where he's jumping underwater, using his bubbles, and he uses those resources, you can count all 5 of them. You got him into this point where he's pushing away and not putting damage on your team from an off angle. That's always a dub for the team.
Absolutely. Convoy for the next matchup. I'm very excited to see how this will go through. I don't know. Like, maybe we can see the break. Sorry, not the breaks. If we can see the Jeff come by again, Convoy, it's going to be a lot more linear. Looks like our first match will be Midtown. Okay. Now, are we going to know what this... I guess it is only just Midtown. So we could see a Jeff. The problem though with a Jeff on this match is that there's not really any place to you throw yourself off the map on it.
True, but here's the thing about a lot of players that excel at characters. They, they look at those situations and go, I don't need them. I'm too good. I got this. I want these off angles. And honestly, the off angles are similar to a Psylocke. If you create enough of space to have people looking over or doubting themselves, or more damage is coming out than expected, you can totally surprise teams and they start to crumble quickly. So the thing that I would like about Jeff here on this map is the verticality. It's pretty massive on Midtown. It's something that is really focused on, especially for a lot of swingers like Spider-Man and Venom. And that's something that Jeff can use as well with his ability to wall climb.
Yeah, but I feel like at that point you would just play someone that flies, right? I think staying grounded and using verticality can be good, but I just feel like there's other characters that can use it better.
Sure, I can agree with you, but the question is, can it be played well enough by said player that plays Jeff, right? Is Jerky so good at Jeff that he's committed to it? I would rather someone 100% committed to a character than someone that would technically be better, right? Banned
Jeff.
anyways.
Jeff was the
Okay.
instant problem. We saw this from Frost Mountain too, where he was rocking the heck out of Human Torch in our first match stream today, but it was immediately banned by every single team they faced up against afterwards. The Jeff now banned. It's the inverse. Frost Mountain's absolutely going to go back to the Torch.
We'll see if he's going to pick it up here. Yeah, the Torch getting his buffs in this latest patch have really helped propel him to the front of the line for DPSs. The major thing for him is that his left click was a little bit delayed and felt kind of awkward, and they sped that up and made it easier. And his left clicks are so good against tanks because he's one of the few flyers that can actually headshot. Actually, I think he's the only flyer that can headshot right now because Storm pierces and Iron Man is splash damage. So he can headshot, and he can burn down tanks pretty quickly, and that advantageous position is something that a lot of people are not expecting. His damage is almost equal to Wolverine in terms of being able to clear out a tank if you get in the right position.
Well, part of it too is that there's just no counterplay against Torch as a Vanguard. You have to hope for the best that your duelist will step up and
You need your
focus
duelist
him
on him.
entirely. But again, that's instant backline control for Zero Tenacity. They don't have to worry about, say, a Captain America, hypothetically, or a Groot now that he's been reserved. You are able to bypass all of those boundaries.
Well, we do have a Hela banned out. Hela was a main focus for both of our teams in our last match, so we're going to have Zero Tenacity getting rid of them for now. Loki being banned out as well. Going to bring down the value of Bucky slightly, but not enough to make sure he's a non-pick. But that Loki, both players have been great on the runes in particular, landing their shifts, trying to make sure they're dodging out on them. A great micro between both of them, and then of course the double ultimates when it comes to Invisible Woman, Cloak and Dagger. Or even if you want to go for a DPS ultimate, can always be a Thorn. So we're going to go ahead and get rid of that. And Bucky will be protected as well as Emma Frost.
I think this is Captain America ban.
Think so?
Yeah.
Let's see if they're going to go down that route.
Because they didn't rock Captain America really a whole lot, and they were struggling against Lugia Goat. And they've already What? They counterbanned the Jeff. They must have not thought Lugia was the major issue in that last game. I would say Lugia was the biggest issue of Krakoa. So, all right.
Instead, they get rid of Adam Warlock, who did just get buffed, by the way. And Adam Warlock is great in triple healer compositions, especially on defense. There's a lot of strength and tempo on convoy maps, right? And so if you have that res available to you and you have two other people get picked off, using a red will keep that 6v6 going and keep you in a situation where you can really just weighing down your opponent. So I kind of like that ban. It may seem like it's out of nowhere, but it's good.
I get it, but we only saw Zero Tenacity rock the triple strategist when they had Jeff available. He's banned out. I think you could have gotten away with banning Cap over Adam.
We'll have to see if it pays off for sure. Captain America can definitely be a threat. I will say, while he was annoying, there were a couple times where Strong World were like, all right, everyone turn around and take out Captain America. And they did it like twice, and it was enough for them to take the objective. They didn't get the win, though, which is a point that I think you are trying to show here, is that Captain America has created such a distraction that they may have to warrant picking that off. But I don't know. It's do or die time now. For sure.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see how it plays out. Lugia Goat, defensive Captain America, does have the backup potential of Ducky on the Groot to help out. The Psylocke will be attempting to take that same prowess that Jerky did on the Jeff and sidelining a lot of potential. Like these flame walls early on, creating a barrier of ultimate damage to be built up. Jerky's ult is one of the farthest ults and the highest energy ults in the game to build up, so it will take a little bit longer. But really, the onus comes down to Smashnez. Can he find impact by distracting the rest of Strong World?
Well, the thing about Smashnez is I feel like he's been a great player on all the DPS that he has picked up, so I am expecting value out of him. With that being said, he gets picked up immediately. Caster Curse! Strong World, however, does lose Onira as they're going to lose their Bucky, and Jerky and crew begin the poke wars of fire.
Let's see now. 30 seconds has already gone by. These walls have been devastating. Ducky immediately finds impact on Isidore. Things have been looking good so far for Strong World side. Frost Mountain, relatively uncontested thus far, though war is quite literally lava for anybody that's not these two torches.
And you're seeing him wiggle the hitbox. So actually, whenever you wiggle that hitbox, the hitbox will actually squish on the Human Torch, which is another reason why he's hard to pick off. You actually want to try and aim for his left knee because of the way that it like switches during that situation, but not a lot of people know that, and it can be kind of hard to pick him off.
Yeah, let me go for the left knee shot.
Yeah, I know, it's weird. It's a weird thing to do, but it usually gets you better results because if he's going up or down, if he goes down, you get the headshot. If he goes up, at least you're hitting the toes, you can readjust your aim as you go. Jerky, however, does do some solid damage, stays alive with the help of his teammates, and they're going to be able to get a little bit of defense on this area as Strong World is still trying to get around this corner. It's been quite the struggle for them, but an ultimate is now available for Frost Mountain.
Supernova's available though from Frost Mountain. This would be the time to fry out the backline. Let's see if it becomes a possibility. Jerky does the same. It's Ult Dub City, population 6. I feel so bad for New York.
Diagrams.
Put on a show.
This is an average day in New York.
Yeah, it sure is. Just out here doing math, throwing down fire everywhere. Meanwhile, I'm getting a taxi on the corner. Luna Snow will lose her ultimate at the same time, and here comes the full pressure from Frost Mountain. He is cooking that back line, looking to go for the one-on-one, and with a heal coming at the last second, he was able to take out the other flyer. Frost Mountain getting the best of Jerky there, and they finally will be able to put some offensive pressure on the map and get that objective around those corners.
And this is pretty part of the course when it comes to Strong World. We've seen them have a very slow beginning of each of their rounds, and then they will build up into the first ult dump and win it out and start taking a lot of control.
Yeah.
Lugia though does have the Captain America ult. Isidore once again falls. This Magneto has struggled, but the Emma Frost in return has been able to stifle Lugia. But once again, look at the assembly. Will it be enough? Isolating out this Bucky has been strong, and unfortunately not enough to assassinate the 1v1.
Grabs the heal pack there too, should be able to skedaddle, and there is the strength of Captain America. If you have a low HP strategist in the back line, he can do a dive, or he can even do a shield throw. And the shield throw was just enough there, able to buy time, and also steal the health pack away from the opposing team. So great setup here for Tenacity. That Captain America really paying off so far. Strong World trying to get in a situation where they can move forward, but Lugia Go popping down the assemble and is fighting and brawling in the middle of a hallway, and he is animation canceling left and right, able to clean it up. I think he could do this all day.
Yeah. No Iron Man to beat up though, after your friend just murdered his parents. I see how it is.
Nice reference there. I get it.
Speaking of parents though, the mommy beam is ready from Legacy. We'll have to wait and see if it provides any impact though. Aura Stealer 2, the invisible boundaries set up and ready to go. Another ult dump from Strong World could be good to see, but can you have the setup? Ducky 1's walls have been so good about stifling this Emma Frost. Sure, you have
trying to get through this.
I know, it's gonna be
this
rough.
high ground.
The double shields, everything is in your way. Supernova once more into the boundary, racking up everything. Strong World are melting in the streets of New York.
The healing may be enough.
God.
Here comes Luna Snow as well. Name trying to keep it up, but the thing is, Oasis can answer back with their own healing if they need to. Jerky just trying to get the damage and building up his ultimate at 21% right now. Lugia Go as well. And with Smashnez in the back line on the Psylocke, they may have created a little bit of space here. Strong World at the same time trying to get that pressure, and looks like they finally would be able to get there. Actually, they're a little bit further than you would think. Can they get it? Here comes Lugia. He dives in. I'm actually feeling a little bit worried here if you're a Strong World fan.
I am worried. Frost Mountain does have an alternate angle, but he moves away. Isidore now on the Venom to create that space. The shields have not quite worked out well for him. He's been historically playing Thing and Hulk. Venom is finally out, but it's a complete disassembly of Strong World right where they were near the finish line. And with no players left, 0.1 absolutely going in Zero Tenacity's favor.
The current score is 0-1.
Great defense coming in from Zero Tenacity, and that's something that they showcased earlier against Berber. They were able to hold off on point number 2, but much better here on point number 1, and now you got a really weird amount of pressure that's coming from Strong World as they'll be on the defensive end themselves. Already looking into their tanks right now, we have Groot and we have Emma Frost, but hang on, Isidore at the last second thinking, maybe it's time for me to pull out Captain America. Grab that shield and don it.
We saw this point 2 of Krakoa. Isidore is much better on melee vanguards than he is on shields. I think this is a good immediate change, but remember too that with the Emma available and the Captain America, you have some stall against your strategist, but they themselves are going to have to play a big game of footsies against the Torch that won't be able to be blocked out by any shields.
Just looking at the damage numbers here really quickly, even though this is something that you kind of want to keep out for on defense, damage numbers are looking pretty solid for Zero Tenacity, and this is a theme that we've had throughout the entire series. They're finding their last hits, they're really cleaning up. Smashnez getting 8 final last hits there as well, but Jerky was the real star there, able to spread the fire, a total of 14,000 damage on one objective, just really kind of cooking everyone down and keeping them low for his team.
Yeah, I think Jerky's positioning has been the best that we've seen from an individual player this entire tournament. Whether it be Jeff or even the Human Torch, he's been so good at making sure that he stays low profile, but accumulates, a lot of damage. Ducky 1 immediately on the convoy, Smashness from behind, looking to get that early damage. Frost Mountain has to take care of this Psylocke. That is going to be point of contention number 1.
Ducky did one thing that was really interesting. He stood in the fire on purpose against Strong World here to make sure that he could get both healing charge and charge for himself for their ultimates. He just stood straight in it and made sure his healers were healing it through. So nice smart play there, using the Human Torch strategy against them. Got to be careful of though, because Jerky is also building up his own ultimate. He's at 45% right now.
45%. Plenty of ground cover though for this Human Torch to find his impact on the ground. Funny enough though, he likes to stay in the air. Hopefully we won't see him on the ground too much. But again, Strong World, they're a team that plays slow in the beginning until they get their first ult dump.
That ultimate is coming relatively soon, just trying to hold his corner. They do see a flank coming in from the back line. It's going to be, once again, the Captain America. They're doing their best to hold it. Meanwhile, the opposing Captain America goes to the back. It's literally a 1v5 on both sides right now, as the two are trying to see who can distract the most. Isidore so far getting the better end, though. 75, almost 80% on his ultimate right now, as he continues to charge forward, really showing off that Avengers endgame skin.
Oh yeah, he's in the endgame now. Actually, it's Infinity War.
For the Avengers. We got the Infinity War. Thank you for the correction there. My gosh, he's got it down completely. Oasis brings out the ultimate, starting to dance left and right. I'm Luna Snow, and you won't get picked off. The heals are just enough, but finally it will transpire, and Isidore, with the Avengers Infinity War skin, moves forward and gets the attacks.
It just keeps on going, doesn't it? Frost Mountain brings out Supernova. In conjunction, though, Winnie themselves just lost down Invincible Boundary, but Oasis is not long for this world. Ult up once more. Everyone's melting down except for Lugia, targeting out this Psylocke, and Ducky's there for the final strike. What's left now? Strong World, constant revives, staggered out completely, practically next to the Swan. It is Zero Tenacity that still have to create so much space.
Yeah, they do have to catch up here.
Go much farther.
They got a minute and a half to do it here with a few more seconds on top of it. They're already setting up to slow down their opponents by moving over, trying to get them to use some resources to try and chase them down, and Captain America can be one of the great candidates for doing that. Strong World already moving their way forward to try and start this defense here, and they're going to have to hold for 1 minute and 30 seconds. Already, Emma Frost trying to build up her stacks there as Groot once again already in the front line, dropping down those walls.
And you saw that team fight and how much distance Zero Tenacity were able to gain off of that alone. Aura Stealer's gone. One critical strategist off the table. Isidore, Legacy, Oniro, all the same. That's the entirety of Strong World gone. I think we can call it.
A nice deep freeze.
Zero Tenacity able to grab the 1-0 victory, and that is going to be, I wouldn't say an easy defense for them, but they definitely looked like the better team in that matchup. Truly finding those takedowns, getting in the full pressure, and I did like the adjustment into Captain America, and it was paying off overall for a little bit, but once that team wipe came in, it was just a bit too much, and Zero Tenacity was able to grab that victory easily.
I'm happy that Strong World counterplayed and banned out the Jeff, but really that Captain America was the
Yeah.
biggest issue for the team. If I'm, but I'm looking to ban Cap going into Grand Finals.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't fully on board with you when we were talking about it in the pre-draft, but now after watching it fully on through, I think you may have been onto something there. That Captain America, man, can be quite disruptive. I mean, if your strategists are in a situation where they have to heal each other, your front line can get left out and get picked off, and we actually see it in the numbers. Legacy had 8 deaths there, and that's not to call out Legacy and mention that, hey, you know, you weren't doing your job. It's just that when strategists are not able to heal you up and do the status quo of what you normally have in a team fight, it can be a major pain, and you'll have a lot of deaths that go your way, and that snowballs. That's a domino effect that Captain America can really exploit.
I think you could also reframe it that Legacy was doing their job a lot. They were playing very selflessly, and the fact that they weren't really getting the support that they needed, all the while your duelists on the other side are getting sniped down 1v1s versus the Psylocke, that is rough to be in.
It truly is. Okay, so do we have one more match after that to see if we're going to tie up here? It's a best of 3, right? Or is that set up? Zero Tenacity, grabbing that one? That one's 2-0. Okay, so Zero Tenacity moves forward in the bracket. Strong World, thank you so much for playing. Loved watching your games. And I believe we'll be setting up, is this for the grand final? Is it Berber Patapim against Zero Tenacity? A rematch? Earlier we had Berber Patapim. I'm going to say it, destroys Zero Tenacity. Zero Tenacity had one round where they were solid in defense on Convoy in particular, but domination really went over to Berber. So we're going to have to see how they make adjustments as we get ready for this grand final. An absolute rematch is going to be a best of 5.
That's right. Now, I'm not too sure if we're going to go to a break or not, but we can pretend that we will. We have to get things set up for the players. We need to get some water and go to the bathroom. And you need to regenerate yourselves to make sure that you are ready for the grand finals just like us. So don't go anywhere. We're going to go to a small break, and we'll be right back.
I was born for music, I just get into it. I can't get influence when I'm near influence. No genre music. We go rap back to pop, pop back to rap, country on the track. I was once broke, I was down bad, swear I'm never going back. I'm from upstate, where we see a little bit of this and some of that. Little city is of sticks, watch me put it on the map, someone get attacked. If you're not first and you're last, life is a race, don't you lag. I get a bag and I stack, the reason I taxed was not cause they needed me. Got all of mine equally, I see what they need from me. Blood, sweat and tears from the frequency, now you believe in me. Cheers for me. Give me the loot. Might lose some battles, but winning the war. I get knocked down, I get back up. Get up and go, I stay ready for more. Go to the toe till I level the score. Never gon' quit. Heard you seen some, but you never seen this. Bet on myself 8 times, no trick, just give me the loot. Word on my palm at the top of the game. Still unashamed, no one to blame. Took all the L's and I rose from the pain. Can't have the sun without seeing the rain. And it rained down when the rain came. See the time change, rolling plain Jane. You and me are not the same, stop saying things. Yeah, they talk, I don't say a lot. I just walk, so I'm moving loud. Really keep it low key, I don't like crowds. Really keep it OG, I don't like clowns. Really keep it just me, I'm the best out. I don't try to keep up, I don't stress out. I don't cash no checks cause the checks bounce. I don't chat about that, I'm the best out. And I did all of this with a pen and a pad. Shift up the tech, got the notes in the lab. Remember the days when I want what I had. Still want more, guess I'm stuck in the past. First or your last, fast lane, chuck up the deuce when I pass. Give me the loot. Might lose some battles, but winning the war. I get knocked down, I get back up. Get up and go, I stay ready for more. Go to the toe till I level the score. Never gon' quit. Heard you seen some, but you never seen this. Bet on myself 8 times, no trick, just give me the loot. Might lose some battles, but winning the war. I get knocked down, I get back up. Get up and go, I stay ready for more. Go to the toe till I level the score. Never gon' quit. Heard you seen some, but you never seen this. Bet on myself 8 times, no trick, just give me the loot. Nova! Some battles, but winning the war. I get knocked down, I get back up. Get up and go, I stay ready for more. Go to the toe till I level the score. Never gon' quit. Heard you seen some, but you never seen this. Bet on myself 8 times, no trick, just give me the loot. See now we going high stakes. This ain't clickbait. This a risk take, this no mistake. I was born to do it. I was born for music, I just get into it. I can't get influence when I'm the influence. No genre music. We go rap back to pop, pop back to rap. Country on the track. I was once broke, I was down bad. Swear I'm never going back. I'm from upstate where we see a little bit of this and some of that. Little city and some sticks. Watch me put it on the map, someone get attacked. If you're not first and you're last, life is a race, don't you lag. I get a bag and I stack. The reason I tax was not cause they needed me. Got all of mine equally. I see what they need from me. Blood, sweat, and tears from the frequency. Now you believe in me. Cheers for me. Give me the loot. Might lose some battles, but winning the war. I get knocked down, I get back up. Get up and go, I stay ready for more. Go to the top till I level the score. Never gon' quit. Heard you seen some, but you never seen this. Bet on myself 8 times, no trick. Give me the loot. Word on my palm at the top of the game. Still unashamed, no one to blame. Took all the L's and I rose from the pain. Can't have the sun without seeing the rain. And it rained down when the rain came. See the time change, rolling plain Jane. You and me are not the same, stop saying things. Yeah, they talk, I don't say a lot. I just walk, so I'm moving loud. Really keep it low key, I don't like crowds. Really keep it OG, I don't like clowns. Really keep it just me, I'm the best out. I don't try to keep up, I don't stress out. I don't cash no checks cause the checks bounce. I don't chat about that, I'm the best out. And I did all of this with a pen and a pad. Shift up the tech, got the notes in the lab. Remember the days when I want what I had. Still want more, guess I'm stuck in the past. First or your last, fast lane, chuck up the deuce when I pass. Give me the loot. Might lose some battles, but winning the war. I get knocked down, I get back up. Get up and go, I stay ready for more. Go to the top till I level the score. Never gon' quit. Heard you seen some, but you never seen this. Bet on myself 8 times, no trick. Give me the loot. Might lose some battles, but winning the war. I get knocked down, I get back up. Get up and go, I stay ready for more. Go to the top till I level the score. Never gon' quit. Heard you seen some, but you never seen this. Bet on myself 8 times, no trick. Give me the loot. Give me the loot. Might lose some battles, but winning the war. I get knocked down, I get back up. Get up and go, I stay ready for more. Go to the top till I level the score. Never gon' quit. Heard you seen some, but you never seen this. Bet on myself 8 times, no trick. Give me the loot. See now we going high stakes. This ain't clickbait. This a risk take, this no mistake. I was born to do it. I was born for music, I just get into it. I can't get influence when I'm the influence. No genre music. We go rap back to pop, pop back to rap. Country on the track. I was once broke, I was down bad. Swear I'm never going back. I'm from upstate where we see a little bit of this and some of that. Little city and some sticks. Watch me put it on the map, someone get attacked. If you're not first and you're last, life is a race, don't you lag. I get a bag and I stack. The reason I tax was not cause they needed me. Got all of mine equally. I see what they need from me. Blood, sweat, and tears from the frequency. Now you believe in me. Cheers for me. Give me the loot. Might lose some battles, but winning the war. I get knocked down, I get back up. Get up and go, I stay ready for more. Go to the top till I level the score. Never gon' quit. Heard you seen some, but you never seen this. Bet on myself 8 times, no trick. Give me the loot. Word on my palm at the top of the game. Still unashamed, no one to blame. Took all the L's and I rose from the pain. Can't have the sun without seeing the rain. And it rained down when the rain came. See the time change, rolling plain Jane. You and me are not the same, stop saying things. Yeah, they talk, I don't say a lot. I just walk, so I'm moving loud. Really keep it low key, I don't like crowds. Really keep it OG, I don't like clowns. Really keep it just me, I'm the best out. I don't try to keep up, I don't stress out. I don't cash no checks cause the checks bounce. I don't chat about that, I'm the best out. And I did all of this with a pen and a pad. Shift up the tech, got the notes in the lab. Remember the days when I want what I had. Still want more, guess I'm stuck in the past. First or your last, fast lane, chuck up the deuce when I pass. Give me the loot. Might lose some battles, but winning the war. I get knocked down, I get back up. Get up and go, I stay ready for more. Go to the top till I level the score. Never gon' quit. quit. Heard you seen some, but you never seen this. Bet on myself 8 times, no trick. Give me the loot. Might lose some battles, but winning the war. I get knocked down, I get back up. Get up and go, I stay ready for more. Go to the toe till I level the score. Never gon' quit. Heard you seen some, but you never seen this. Bet on myself 8 times, no trick. Give me the loot.
It's the grand finals of the Chronovium Cup. Thank you once again, INGAGE, for making us have this beautiful tournament here. My name is Keg, and I'm joined by Trick Slayer once more, and it's grand finals. And I'm not very good at my Italian brain rot, but I can tell you one thing for certain, though, is that they're one game up ahead by winning through the winner's side.
Keg, I have to be a butthead real quick. You can't call me Trick Slayer. You can't do it. I went through years where people call me Trick Slayer. It's Trick Slur. I have to be that toxic
Trick
guy.
Slur?
I know it looks like Trick Slayer, but I can't rebrand. I already have so many followers.
I mean,
on
if you want to have Slur in your name, yeah, sure.
I mean, don't put it like that. I know. It's like when I worked at Blizzard, we were trying to mix names together, and I had to make a name that was like could be Googled and not be shown anymore. And so they put a Y in it and didn't realize it would be Slur afterwards, so it feels weird. But it's what it is. It is what it is, man.
You could say it's slurry.
Yeah,
you know, it's like when you round up a bunch of animals into a paste, like you get the chicken nuggets.
I just have to nip that in the bud because I don't want to go through another couple of years of fighting the Trick Slayer fight. But you
Trick Slayer sounds cool. It's like 2003
cool?
MLG.
Trying to get over it. I'm getting
very,
old right
very
now, man.
Millennial.
So I don't. Don't people hate millennials
it gives
now?
millennial. Maybe.
See, that's a problem. You know, I've heard millennial writing is a bad thing now, and I'm like, bro, I'm just trying to fit in this world. You know,
it's a very 360 no scope. Ma, get the camera type beat.
You know what? I'm gonna go with it. Maybe I'm just gonna put an A in there and just call it. All right, into the match we go. We are facing off with Berber Patapim, facing off against Zero Tenacity. I got to say, Berber Patapim may be the favorite to win. First up, they're up 1-0 on this best of 5 series, right? So they only have to get a couple of wins and they are set up and good to go. And they winner takes all. They take the monies. Second off, they have incredible DPS players.
Okay. I haven't gotten to watch Berber Patapam too much, so I'm going to take your word for it, but what I can tell you is that Zero Tenacity, they had really good interplaying team synergy throughout their entire lower bracket run. So if Berber Patapam, like you mentioned in the green room, that they destroyed Zero Tenacity, if they learned anything from the lower bracket, I'm hoping this will be a much closer affair.
Yeah, I'm thinking, I mean, I hate saying the word destroyed, but it really did feel kind of like that. There was a moment of hope, you know, the clouds parted, a spotlight came down. There was a moment for Zero Tenacity where maybe they could just go for the hero's journey and beat Berber Patapim, but then they just kind of got crushed on Midtown in particular, and their domination did not look too solid. And it really came down to the DPS. BB Pokey was just doing such a great job on Psylocke. He was able to really run through the back line, be uncontested. He had a match where he had 0 deaths on domination between both of the maps and were able to really just put Zero Tenacity in a situation where they really couldn't come back, even with like great ultimate usage and spreading of their strategy and making sure to be able to layer things perfectly. Berber Patapim was just a bit too much. So I don't want to get everyone bored and like kind of fearful for Zero Tenacity, but they definitely have to bring their A game here or Berber Patapim is going to walk away with this one.
Nah, I'll say it with my whole chest. We
Your
saw
whole
Zero
chest?
Tenacity. Well, not half chest, full chest, both lungs, whatever's
Dang,
left of them.
dude.
But Zero Tenacity, they looked really dang good going into the lower finals. And, you know, you talked about how one of the players on Patapam, they had what, 1 death, 0 deaths, blue deaths, red deaths? Doesn't matter. We saw Jerky do the same exact thing pretty much every game in that lower finals. Now, Patapam is no strong world. I'm assuming it'll be a different reality that we see, but Zero Tenacity, if Jerky can continue that same precipice going into the grand finals, I don't think it's going to be that far off.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with you. The best case scenario for Zero Tenacity here is going into this matchup. They come out and they just bat down Berber Patapim, right? I want them to have a dominant performance so we can have both players or both teams really just kind of bring in their A game and see how that unfolds. So definitely going to be setting up here. Now, as mentioned, we are on domination, and this is probably where I want to have the most focus coming in. As mentioned, Berber Patapim seem to be a lot stronger in domination. They know how to set up points, they hold their high grounds, and their ability to hold down chokes and go for the takedowns is pretty strong. So Zero Tenacity, I want them to come out, grab the objective, and then take away that high ground chance from Berber Patapim and see how they adjust.
I do see that it looks like the first two matches will be very high ground, low ground heavy. Hell's Heaven
Yeah.
could be potentially the second one. Those are very, very push up heavy. And you're either a team that can go into the enemy team spawn and survive by constantly crushing and stalling their percentages, or you're a team that tries to do that and just falters.
Yeah, you're talking about resource management there. And that's something that you really need to do on domination maps. You don't want to be having people come in at full strength, especially if you're on the upper end, on an objective. You want them to come in weak, wounded, using important abilities. So I agree with you. If you ever get into a scenario where you're able to push the opponent back and get towards their spawn, poke them safely, back up, make them use resources to take space, you're going to be in a greater spot to be able to pull off that objective win and move forward. So we'll see who's going to be able to pull that off, man.
Resource management, huh? Your inner StarCraft is showing.
Oh yeah, dude. The strategy gamer in me. Oh man.
Quick,
I'm
I'll
not
cover
so
you
good
up. Hide it.
the shooter stuff. I'm learning as we get through here. But strategy, man, I could talk about that stuff all day. I actually like that you were into some of the shooter games as well. We were talking about that off broadcast because I think it lets us bring a different perspective to the cast. We can kind of carry both angles of what this genre meshes together, which is of course the shooter element and the strategy element and the resource management element. Right? It's
That's true.
so fascinating.
Well, I think the Venn diagram meeting up point between both those styles of games, which makes Marvel Rivals so cool, is the very big control of the macro game that Marvel
Mhm.
Rivals needs to have and a team has to use to dominate. Zero Tenacity had a great macro game back in the lower finals. What they did
Yeah.
was they used their Captain America frontline, bash, 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 Jerky, the Jeff from the sidelines. And it made so that the macro game of Strong World was so messed up that they could not prioritize any of the right targets.
I think we need to adopt that casting style, by the way. Just yelling the names that we're currently watching. You know, just
Lightning bolt, lightning bolt.
Emma, Captain America, shield,
Emma,
shield.
hold on now. Bobby, thighs.
I really hope that the developers that have created this game are watching these casts and really seeing what we're latching onto. You know, as a
They're
community.
like, yes, it's working perfectly.
I'm
know
ready
what
for your
really to
cosplay,
focus on.
dude. I'm ready for that Emma cosplay. You better get it up on the internet. You better post it everywhere. We're gonna retweet that stuff. You know, re-Instagram, whatever you're calling it nowadays. I'm there.
For the first international land, I'll be there. I will cast Grand Finals full Emma cosplay. Thighs only though. No other part of my everything else is green screen.
Clip it, chat. You heard it. That's what he's doing. If he's on the grand finals, he will be in full Emma cosplay. That will be exciting to watch. All right. Here we go, man. We are going into the grand finals. It's for all the marbles. $500 on line. Winner takes all in this tournament, by the way, guys. There is no second place. There is no money being split. You are either a winner or, sadly, you're a loser in this tournament. Let's see how this goes.
Very curious to see how the pick on fans up right now. Side. F reserve. Interesting. Now, I'm not going to put any ideas in anyone's head except my own. But because the Jeff got through, I want to see if out of them are going to go for the Captain America fan. If they don't, and there's a reservation from Zero Tenacity, it makes me wonder if out of them will watch the lower final boss.
Sure. I mean, I would imagine so, right? Like any competitive
I
player
would
wants to
think
get
so,
an
too.
edge. Yeah, but we do need to find out if they do it. Some teams, especially in the early infancy of an esport, and technically we are in the early days. We are literally trailblazing
We're
esports right now
fetuses.
for Marvel. That's right. We are being born within the womb. Some players, some teams may not take all the research seriously, and research is where the talented teams will always go that extra mile. So I do hope that they were watching those replays. They were keeping an eye on them. We do have an Iron Fist ban, which he is alone right now, considered a high A, maybe S tier character in a lot of ranked environments, as he's able to really help out, not only in trying to help out burn back lines, but because of his latest changes, he's actually good on the front line. The parry mechanics and the ability to help burn down tanks is something that Iron Fist has really fit into quite well, so I don't mind that ban too much. It's also a great ban for when you're starting a best of 5.
This reserve will tell the entire story.
There it is.
Oh no!
Shield, shield, shield! Beat, beat, beat!
America,
It's Captain
America.
That's right. We'll get a ban on the Hulk. That 2-for-1 value is looking for. It's kind of curious, actually, how the Hulk has fallen all the way down into the third ban. Typically, he's one of your first, second bans, but that just kind of shows how strong these earlier picks are and how important they are to a team being built out.
Curious to see what the final ban's going to be from Patapim's side. Torch is gone, Luna's gone. What is the goal here for this team? It seems to be disruption and taking 1v1s. The Psylocke's reserved, the Winter Soldier's been reserved too, Adam is gone. This is a team that just wants to pick apart Zero Tenacity from all angles.
And Pokey once against that Psylocke, I'm going to have to really ask the observer as well as for you to keep an eye on this Psylocke. His
All my eyes will
ability...
be on him.
That's what I need here. All the ability and the movement is something that he uses not to play safe or to get the off angle, which you typically see from a Psylocke. He can do that, but the aggression he brings towards anyone that is over positioning or out of step of their teammates is something Pokey excels at, and we're going to be able to witness that today. It's so much to the point where I think Zero Tenacity might have to consider me in the future. But let's play out this match first, and let's head into it. Grand Finals! Let's do this, Keg!
All right, let's see how it goes. Krakoa, we saw how strong the Captain America and the Jeff combo was last time. I will mention, though, when we last saw Zero Tenacity bring out that Jeff, it wasn't as strong on this point as it was for the wider open one. It seems like the power of Devil America alone seems to be disrupting the servers a bit. I do want to mention again that we aren't actually seeing the Jeff. Instead, the Black Panther from Jerky. Okay.
Okay, he's messing with our hearts. You can't trust players if there's still a countdown going. That's my rule for Marvel Rivals. You can't. They're going to break your heart and take it away from you. Jerky, yes, as you mentioned, when he has a lot of open space, he can be really threatening, but I think a lot of teams are also getting better at being like, okay, Jeff is back here, let's all turn it on 3, 2, 1. Everyone turns and focuses up, because Jeff can't take a lot of burst damage. He can take one-on-ones really, really well, and that's pretty, it comes down to combos, basically, to break down Jeff. Jeff already actually in the back line being a nuisance. Wow, look at that movement, jumping around the corner to staying alive. Meanwhile, Patapan and crew are going to be fighting over this objective as it unlocks in 2 seconds.
Oh my god, I feel so bad for Ducky. He's getting thrown around like a ping pong ball. He just barely survives. He's getting heal dumped. But at the same exact time, that's going to be one critical strategist completely gone. Ducky will not be able to survive such leverage again until the respawn.
Winnie also got picked up as well, though, so it was a 1-point trade, but Berber Patapin loses out on Cannon Alex and Zero Tenacity, doing what I was hoping they would do here in this game, come out and be decisive, try to grab the objective, and they already have it. 6% being built up, and them being able to have Jeff this time is really paying off for them as Berber Patapins have to reset, reassess, and re-engage.
I do want to mention earlier about how you mentioned how Jeff's, when they are on the board, seems like they completely focus them. We didn't quite see that from Patapim. Instead, it was Polya focusing the 1v1, which drove his presence away from the objective itself. That brought it down to Enzo, the only Vanguard to create space on site. Got denied heavily by the opposite group.
We do have an ult coming out from Smash Nez, but he actually gets deleted. One of the things you can do against a Bucky when he goes for that reset composition is to turn around and focus him right away, and Patapin did that. And that's going to allow them to shut down Zero Tenacity in the fight. There goes 1 member, 2 members, and 3 now picked off. Oasis and Jerky are here trying to stay alive, but the Invisible Woman ult is a little bit on the late side. There's no one here to really follow up on any damage, and you got to wonder if that might be a waste, as Patapin now is able to grab the objective and start building up some points. Both healers also getting picked off, both Jerky and Oasis. That was a staggered death that you do not want to deal with whenever you're in the scenario.
It looks like Zero Tenacity are slowing down to accompany that death. Oasis has respawned to rejoin the team. 6 ults available now. Where is Polly going to go? He's been moving around, playing very different from other Captain Americas we've seen. He's focusing, just like Pokey and Tanuki, on 1v1s. And I don't know if this is the winning strat. 25% though and rising is a good start here. Strangulation, imprisonment though, and so to try to find impact, but it's shut down immediately by Jerky.
Yeah, Jerky able to grab 2 members. He grabs Gru and Loki, goes for the spit. Not able to really push them off, but he's going to be able to put some damage on them. He's going for the micro there, dropping the bubbles and getting the heals as well. Just trying to slow them down, and Zero Tenacity in a situation here. They've already lost a couple of members as well. Jerky finally gets picked off, and Patapan controls Jeff easily here, and they have now taken the lead in the objective control, 54% to 51%.
And Patapeb aren't even doing anything special. They're just really good at collapsing against Zero Tenacity and funneling them into a certain spot of the map. It's always been closed and condensed. That's why we see Lugia now going around to the sidelines, creating space for the team and severing this Hydra while he can. But will it work, though, is the big question. Going into the back lines and taking out this Loki has been identified as the biggest issue. Gamma Regeneration's available now. Jerky and Lugia attempting to go back lines again, but Tanuki is there to help out and save the day. Is this the reclaim? The answer is yes.
Mashnet's unable to find those full resets. Now we have Paulie going for the fight on the back line, going straight for Loki, and some big abilities are being used. Luckily, Invisible Woman is able to provide the heal down that entire duration. And with 3 members down, Zero Tenacity finally has a chance to get this objective to a tied scenario. 82%, 68% for those that are listening at home, as we are getting closer and closer. And I gotta say, this is a lot better than what we saw in their last matchup. Zero Tenacity definitely fighting back here and has brought us a grand finals that are worthy of our attention.
Tenacity just had to fight through the best of 1, best of 3 gauntlet to get to this position. They've warmed up and played for a while. Patapim, they've had a little bit of time to relax and may have gone cold with their mechanics, but they are warming back up again all the same. 91% now from Zero Tenacity has been a great start. But with that even being said, though, it's going to be the invisible boundary. Like you mentioned, a Venn diagram of doom into a strangulation in Purism. It gets nobody, but it stalls for time. Right on top,
Here comes
though,
Jeff.
it's Jeff. In that back
He
line,
comes
no
up.
less. He captures
He grabs
one.
one. Oh, but they turn around and clean him up quickly. Paulie leading the charge, dives on top of him, gets a couple of hits, and Lurky will be picked off. Patapim are able to turn around that fight with the kill of Jeff, and now are building up the objective to 89% and more. Jerky is forced to switch into Doctor Strange so he can teleport his team onto the objective. Will he be here in time to stop it? Here goes the teleport. It's up 97%, 98. They get on it, but can they win the fight?
Jerky is keeping onto the Doctor Strange as well. Not going to swap off. No shields available. Pure melee just to rack up the Agamotto as soon as possible. But even then, Invisible Boundary is out. And things are looking fantastic for Patapim. They just have to kill each of Zero Tenacity 1 by 1 directly on the point itself. None of the strategists have gone down yet, though, for Zero Tenacity, and they can continue to regenerate all this HP. That's one
Alex
gone, though.
playing on their mind right now. Great heals and survives. Nidzo already moving up as well, moving for the objective, goes for a couple of pickdowns, and Zero Tenacity starts to fall like dominoes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that's going to be a 6-man team wipe as Patapim are able to grab the lead and win. But man, Keg, that was such a close match.
It was really, really close, and in double OT nonetheless, too. It could go any team's way. I'm wondering now, again, I've been focusing on him a lot. Jerky, is he going to maintain the Jeff? He found impact, don't get me wrong, but yeah, I wouldn't mind to see a more dastardly swap, like, say, that Doctor Strange returning again for the Triple Vanguard.
Yeah, sure. It does seem like Patapim is like, all right, clearly Jeff is going to be an annoying mosquito. And they have identified when do you swat the mosquito and take him out and then grab the objective afterwards. They did that 3 times in the last matchup that were pretty imperative. Most of them when they are coming out the ultimate. Captain America, Paulie here, has been leading that charge. He's able to shield out the Jeff Shark by looking down on it, find out where he's trying to go, jump in the air, and dash on top of him and take him out. So definitely, I gotta agree with you. I wonder if Jerky's gonna make any changes, or if he believes himself hard enough here to make this Jeff work.
I also noticed, too, that Zero Tenacity, they've been banning out a lot of melee characters back in the selection screen. If I'm Purple Patapim, I might be considering bringing out whatever remains for the melees that maybe stifle away Lugia or even the backline strategists.
Yeah, sure. Definitely an option for them to worry about. But right now they have to worry about this objective. 6 seconds of counting. It's about to pop up. Already Snick are working on Gru. They find an early pick in Zero Tenacity. Loses 2 to start. They're going to have to forfeit this objective and regroup up. And look at this. Look at Patapim. They are so far ahead in terms of ultimates. They have 5 available to them right now. And Zero Tenacity has to farm them up and find some way to do that. And they keep staggering right now.
He's got to get out of the way, though. You don't want to stagger in positioning right away now. Smashness returns back to the Hella. We saw this back when they faced against the Krakoa into the lower finals. And Smashness was able to left-click headshots so many different players of Strong World immediately. But these ults are going to be everything now for Patapim. They have to keep them alive. Walls from Ducky have looked good.
Now, they have to be careful here not to pull everything too fast. Oasis has a great ultimate here to stop their aggression, that invisible woman berry that can come up. Ooh, hang on, though. There's going to be a pick right there on the front line as well. Winnie actually falls. So does Oasis, and Smash is also getting picked. Ducky also getting destroyed, and this is starting to look very familiar. This is how it looked in the first time these two faced off in the domination. It looks like Berber and Patapim have figured out what exactly makes Zero Tenacity tick in their last composition. And now we're getting to a spot here where, like, all right, ultimates are coming in, but do we need to make adjustments? We're probably going to see one more team fight for Zero Tenacity, and if they can't get it here, I could see them finally switching those characters as we've been talking about.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see if that plays out, though. Only one ult was used by Patapim. Vertical control for the left side, attempting to quite literally shark bite their way into the back lines. Jerky looking to set up for its Jeff 2. Identified where the enemy team is. It's just a matter of being able to get into those back lines effectively to help out the team. Strangulation Imprisonment, though, from Enzo meets with his own doom. It's ult extravaganza.
Wait, huge!
Jeff gets so many. He has 3. That could be enough. And he wants to make sure that no one can escape on time. A worthy sacrifice to allow Zero Tenacity to have a stake in point 2.
Generally, if you can take 50% of anything from anybody, you're gonna win. And that's what we just saw there. Zero Tenacity able to get the ultimate thanks to Jerky landing there and able to find 3 of them. But there is the main issue of them being relatively far behind. 87% to 18%. They need to hold this objective and they need to hold it for a couple of fights, which is what Berber Patapim has been excelling at this matchup.
50% of anything, huh? I did not realize Zero Tenacity and Patapim got divorced. We'll have to wait and see if this continues on forwards, though. Ken does have Loki ult available. Will that be enough, though, on a secondary strategist? Jerky has to get away. He escapes effectively. But this has been a domination of Groot ults. The walls come up immediately to stifle out the stall. And at this point, this is just a flurry of animations.
Okay, time for Smashnez to cook right now. He has the ultimate. It's going up for another reset. Does find a Psylocke, does hit them, but Psylocke is able to go for their ult as well, and she's invincible during this phase. I don't know if he's going to be able to find those kills. Loki is able to answer back, though, with the rune and provide the heals, keep them all alive. Smashnez has lost out on his reset. Here's a counter Uzo coming in from Enzo as they try to lock down Zero Tenacity.
Zero Tenacity. Zero resistance, it seems. 65% and growing. Have to survive this next oncoming fight. Invisible Boundary from Oasis has provided a wealth of benefits. At this point, Patapim, they have to go for a reset.
Okay, and they will do that. Zero Tenacity has climbed the mountain. They are up to 80% on the objective and about to surpass their opponents that are at 87%. They do not have any ultimates available to them. They're about 50% on the way through. Jerky the closest 70%. Oh no!
My God.
Jerky floated with the sun! He's Icarus!
And now there's Kraken Impact from Tanuki. It could be even worse. The Sun's going to collide back down on Earth after the Angels have died. This is good, though. You have the Groot remaining on site. He'll be the final one to go down with the ship. Lucas smash everybody from Zero Tenacity. Melt down against Patapim. To the point now where we could go the full gauntlet and hit point 3 of Krakoa.
That was impressive. Zero Tenacity in a 5v6 were able to move forward and grab the objective. Jeff was just doing Jeff things. He was trying to slow down the fight, be a speed bump, and it didn't work out for them, but they had the camaraderie and were able to pull together. And with the power of friendship, we are tied up 1-1 as we head into this last map on domination.
Really like the ult economy from Zero Tenacity. Even with Patapim all the way back in the beginning of point 2, maintaining their ults. It wasn't enough.
Deep breaths here. This is actually an important moment in terms of intensity. Both players are feeling this right now. Both teams are going the mile as we set up. As a quick recap, currently in terms of takedowns, you're looking over to Berber, and they are cooking. Look at this, 25 takedowns, 12 final hits here for Pokey. But if you look at Zero Tenacity, and you mentioned the ult economy, they are using their resources to be able to snatch slight victories. They're being annoying, but ultimately they're focusing on the objective, and that's where we get that difference in kills, right? Berber Patapim just destroying on DPSs, but Zero Tenacity as a team are coming together at the right moments, and they're cleaning up. We're in for a great best of 5.
This was the win condition to have Zero Tenacity get to the grand finals to begin with. But
Yes,
Patapim, don't know how that last matchup against them went. But if it was the destruction that you claimed, Trick, it must have been a big turnaround for this team from day 1 to day 2.
And good on them, man. That takes a lot of composure and also a lot of resilience, you know? You're going to meet a lot of adversity in games like this. But let's go ahead and focus up. Mission unlocks now, and we are going in. Lugia trying to slow down the objective control. Already getting to a point here, but at the same time, Zero Tenacity steps up and says, no, we want the objective as well. Ultimate's available. Enzo in particular and Ducky are going to be the ones that start this. Here we go. They both come out. Here comes the reset mode as the Kraken connect, and he's going to find one. Smash is showing that he can be just as strong as the DPS mate, locking down the targets, but at the same time, Tanuke turns around and goes for his own. He beats out Smash. He starts to reset, and Burr Patapim somehow, some way turn around the fight. The DPS players continue to impress.
And Tanuki, unfortunately, cannot keep the Kraken arm going, but he found a hell of an impact overall. Zero Tenacity, a full reset. Oasis available now to have invisible boundary, but again, Jerky has been the star of the show with its Jeff.
Sometimes the Kraken needs a nap, man. You gotta put it down, rebuild it up, and that's what we're seeing right now. Okay, so Zero Tenacity, how are they gonna do this? There's a lot of weird angles on this map. There's also a couple of portals that you can use to your advantage. And you did mention Jerky. He has his ultimate available. Can he land another money one? Take 50% from the opposing team.
Jerky has found a lot of impact with its Jeff. I think at last round he got a one set of 3 or maybe even 4 different players to go off the map alongside him, and that made a world of a difference for Zero Tenacity to bring distance back onto the site. Invisible boundary number 1 off of Ken's ult. It is destruction once more. It's just captures both invisible women.
It has a Loki in there as well. Loki so menacing, and he will get picked off. It looks like he tried to teleport the last second to stay alive. He was able to get back on the map, but still the job is done. Can we take him from the fight? Wait, both healers were able to get back. I can't believe that. Burr Patapim starting the fight here, but they did lose their take.
Truly unfortunate. We saw Jerky in the past waited out to make sure that no one could jump into the jump from his own ult, but unfortunately that was just not the case. Pressure was too amounting. Smash and Winnie, though, holding the lay of the law. Vinny, too, especially, has been so good about dividing up these 1v1s. A reset again for Patapim. Now, remember, this is Grand Finals. Patapim do have a game up over Zero Tenacity. They were able to win through the winner's side, and that is their advantage. No
That's right.
Grand Final resets at all.
Yep, no bracket reset here. In terms of scoring, they are up 1-0 right now. Zero Tenacity has to win 3 matches. Burr Patapim has to only win 2. Here we go. The fight begins once again. 76% to 29. Burr Patapim in a lead, but the numbers are ticking up for Zero Tenacity. The high ground in full control for them right now. However, this Bucky is getting low, and Pokey is showing the prowess on that Psylocke, and he has an ultimate as well. Can dash forward and really start to burn out that support if he finds the angle, but sadly, nothing is showing itself.
Pokey staying true to his name, truly poking the entire enemy team to rack up that damage and allow someone else to get that final strike. Pokey does remove Jerky from the server for just a few moments, but now Ultikami built up once more from Patapim. 20 seconds to work with before they have to face the inevitability, if it will be inevitability, of them losing this site. It's just a matter of them using their 5, soon to be 6 ultimates to win this next fight and bring themselves 2-0 for Grands.
That's right. The story itself from the last round is being told once again. Zero Tenacity fighting back with tenacity, which is funny enough based on their name. About to tie up 76% to 76 on the objective, and they are officially going to take the lead. But Burr Patapim are stepping forward, and they have a total of 5 ultimates available. Invisible Woman begins the fight with her wall, her barrier going up, and here comes Tanuke. Can he get the resets he's looking for here, Keg?
Absolutely, Tanuki, a waterfall of pain and destruction, finds yet another and another. Again and again, he says, and again! This time now the Vanguards, all the squishies are dead. He continues on going, a full team ace from Tanuki.
So, we are in a situation here where Burr Patapim can close up and go up 2-0 in the entire series, but Tenacity at the same time has a chance to fight back. There is one ultimate available that is going to be on Loki, probably going to use that on Oasis to make sure they can get the fight that they are looking for. Burr Patapim has 2 themselves, with Paulie on Captain America and Psylocke for Pokey here having their ults at the same time. The teleport continues, the teams move in, 96%. Lugia gets onto the point here, Paulie needs to help out as well, and the fight is going to ensue in overtime.
It's one final attempt now from Patapim to bring things back. They want to make this 2-0. It's a fight. Tenacity, they don't have nearly as many ults, but Yuki's already dead. He was the one that won the entirety of the major fight. But guess what? Lugia is back in full arms. Zero Tenacity show full tenacity. And they bring it home once more. One by one, they fall. Tanuki web slings his way back as soon as humanly possible. But even that doesn't seem to be enough. Because maybe it is. And no, I lied to you, audience. It is not.
Wait, it's overtime. Portal. There might be a chance here.
Is there enough
Enzo
time?
trying to go for the portal. Can he get on there? He's been building it up. No time
1-1.
at all. Wow. That's right, Keg. We are 1-1 in the grand finals, all tied up here. Every single map going down to the wire, too. I am so proud of Zero Tenacity. We are going to have a series on our hands as they are bringing their A game.
Absolutely, and if there's a time for counterplay from Patapim, it needs to be now going into game number 2. It's 1-1 though, and again, if you're just tuning in, that does mean Patapim do have a game advantage going in from the winner's side. So we've only been one true game in the grand finals, but Zero Tenacity, it looked pretty damn good.
Yeah, it certainly did. And now you have to start wondering, we did see it in the last series. There were Jeff bans between these two. Do you ban out the Jeff? There were moments where they were cleaning him up, but it seems like the annoyingness is just enough to put them on edge a little bit. And a slight mistake here or there, someone getting picked off like Bucky can really allow for, as you mentioned, the team fight to waterfall in their favor.
All I'm saying is that this is the same conversation we had in the lower finals. Ban out the
True.
Jeff, they said. Ban out the Captain America, we said. Did they ban out the Captain America? No, they didn't. And now Zero
That's right.
Tenacities and Grands with the same exact advantage.
So, there are two mosquitoes that are annoying, and Jeff was, as you mentioned, in the losers bracket finals, banned out, and the Captain America wound up winning for them. So do we go for the Captain America ban? That is definitely a discussion that has to be had between our players, and ultimately it comes down to, like, what are you more comfortable with? What are you able to handle? And there is a lot of strategy that is on both sides that we can talk about. Captain America just lasts longer, right? He doesn't have to jump under the ground the moment he takes a little bit of damage. He pulls up a shield. He has, what, 300 HP on that shield? Able to reflect bullets back as well versus a shark that's menacing, annoying, and spits on you. You know what? I'm starting to lean a little bit towards the Captain America ban myself. You pointed it out. I didn't fully believe it, and I may have been wrong.
That's okay. We'll have to see if America is wrong as we head into game number 2 shortly. Now, remember the way that picks and bans work is that if you're Patapim, you probably have at best one attempt to ban either the Jeff or the Captain America. You really gotta choose which one you want to bring out. We saw the Jeff ban happen already before. It didn't really change the play style for Jerky. I'd also argue it didn't really change how well his impact was. You have to ban the Captain America.
The only thing that is a discussion point that we do have to talk about is these two did already face off, and the Jeff ban did work for Berber, right? They were able to ban it out. They left Captain America up, and they were able to pull off the win. So that might work out for them. But I do think Captain America is starting to be an issue for both teams. I think you're correct. There's just a little bit of aggression that he brings to a team and enough damage soak that you find yourself in a weird situation. And the other part about Captain America too as well is even if you do pick off an important DPS, his survivability in multiple situations are able to get 10 to 15% on objective. And that could be the difference between a win and a loss. So yeah, we just have to bring up all the points here. There have been bans, there have been brought up, but I think you and I are starting to become an agreement on maybe we ban America. Maybe we kick them out.
It was
no more.
long and lengthy negotiations, but I'm glad we finally found a compromise. Actually, the compromise goes in Patapim's favor. We're going the Yggdrasil path on the convoy. This was their map pick, and this is exactly what they wanted. Jerky immediately, I think, is anticipating a Jeff ban. He's already going for Scarlet.
This is the moment where we all lean into
Sorry,
our monitors.
redheads.
We are full gamer lean right now. We are waiting for this ban with severe anticipation. Our beaks are wet. It's gonna be neither the Human Torch being banned out.
Like, I mean, sure. Okay, that's fine. I mean, the Human Torch has been an all pick for Jerky.
Yeah, to be fair, we have been seeing a lot of Human Torch being quite disruptive on maps. He is an S tier character for a lot of folks if you are to have a discussion on tier list. Silac will be protected for Berber Patapim. They want to keep that.
Okay, the Jeff Insta Reserve. I honestly not surprised. I'm honestly surprised it's not the Cap preserve. I know they've always gone Jeff first, but you would think with just how dominant Lugia has been that they would want to try to reserve him as soon as humanly possible and keep Jeff for the second.
And one of the elements, too, that I don't think we've highlighted about Jeff and why he's actually so strong right now is they are running a lot of AoE compositions. Groot into Bucky combo, Groot into Moon Knight in one scenario. A lot of people are starting to group up whenever they pull off their ultimates. And who is really, really good at punishing people that are grouped up? Jeff. When he goes into his ultimate mode with is Jeff. And while you might not get the 4 or 5 mana ult you're looking for all the time, Jeff can help out with those scenarios. What are you thinking, Keg? You were gonna say something. Say it with your chest, bro. Nipples out.
My nipples are always out, dude. Hard as diamonds,
Yes,
just
sir.
like Emma.
Yes.
The Emma gets banned, and so I'm just thinking like chess in my head, like okay, you reserve the Winter Soldier. Gee, I wonder what Zero Tenacity's gonna reserve. You just lost.
Fighting out. Here we go. Okay, it's there.
I'm good. I'm cool.
To be fair, again, it was close. We went to 99% every single time. And as a competitive player, there is something that, while you're in the moment, your ego kind of shows up a little bit. You're like, bro, I can beat that next time. I know what they're trying to do. And there is a familiarity that you want to pop in. I feel you, Keg. I do. But ultimately, it comes down to what you're comfortable with, what you're comfortable against, and what you think you can outplay this time as you go into the next match.
I get it. I get that. But like, dude, Lugia has been the centerpiece for Zero Tenacity in every single game we've watched. And the fact that you let the Cap, like you have multiple bans too. It's not even like it was an insta reserve from Zero Tenacity. It was a late game choice for them. That baffles me.
Well, we'll see how it all unfolds. Now, the last time these two faced off on a convoy map, Berber Patapim was the tempo setter. They did a great job on offense in particular. Zero Tenacity did have moments of where they held points well, but if you look at the overall map, Berber Patapim was pretty dominant. Now, clearly we have a different team for Zero Tenacity here in the Grand Finals. They are showing up and they are going the wire every single moment. But Berber Patapim may be relying on what they've already felt in their first matchup between these two.
Okay. The dive comp off of Cap, Venom, and Spidey, and the Jeff is going to be ferocious. Polly's going to have his work cut out for him as that anti-Cap.
Your trust was just betrayed once again. The countdown was there. They were hovering and switched to Smash Nevs again. I'm telling you, man, they're here to break our hearts. Blood flowing.
Better comp, I'm not going to lie.
Definitely would change the pacing of the fight legit too. And the good thing about doing an aggressive dive comp at the start is that you can do 1 or 2 fights and go, you know what, this ain't working, and switch off and save most of your ultimates. Jeff on Jeff action though. The dogs are out and they are spitting on each other. So far, Jerky actually loses out on the trade, but he has a defender's advantage and he comes back swinging once again. I know there's another 5v5 happening, but I'm more interested in the 1v1 of Jeff. We'll see what happens there as Tanuki continues to get low on HP.
Okay. I like this verticality from Zero Tenacity. They're playing a very unique alternative angle that I don't really ever see too much of an attacking team. Definitely some question marks, but it's working. That's when the VOD review later figure out its impact. But the convoy is essentially ignored.
I mean, technically with a convoy, you can't really move it up until you find a pick, right? It's usually the way to get into a house. You got to open the window first, right? So we'll see how that goes. Oasis now grabbing the top lane. Yeah, are you aware of how to get into houses here, Mr. Keg? Or are you worried about
the window?
Through the window. We don't need no doors. Meanwhile, Emma Frost building up that pulse there. Here comes Jeff. Goes into diamond form. Tries to set it up. Now you can't see Jeff here, but you can put a lot of damage on him. Looks like he's gonna be able to sneak out. The other Jeff is trying to stop him, but he can't stop the Jeff. The Jeff goes for a spit, throws 1 or 2 off the side. They are unable to survive there, and Berber Patapim are able to find a couple of takedowns.
That's wild that we're seeing Jerky beat out Jeff. That's going to put him in an awkward spot. Is he going to maintain the Jeff? With his ult, he will, but post-ult, is he going to maintain the Jeff and attempt to keep going for these 1v1s? Both Captain Americas are 1v1ing. Both the Jeffs are 1v1ing. It's leaving everybody else in the 3v3s to their own devices to actually play the game.
You know, we're witnessing something kind of special right now. I've casted 3 Marvel Rival tournaments, and I have not had a Jeff off in the Grand Finals and a good time. Both players bringing out their Jeffs, and we're going to let the ego shine right now. The spinning continues from afar. Here comes a big invisible woman ultimate to try and hold up the location. Enzo is going to fall before using the ultimate, and Paulie himself also takes a bit of a beating and will be disrupted. Pokey, meanwhile, just trying to stay alive and pick anybody off here, but he can't quite find the angle. Good news for them, though. The convoy is only halfway to the first point, so they can regroup up and fight one more time.
They bring up a good 20, minute 20 left on the clock now. Things have been looking good for this defense. 4 ults on the back of it too, and Tanuki's not far off from the 5th. Zero Tenacity though are pretty close to point number 1, and it seems to be an easy glide as the rest of Burper Parapem. Well, it looked like they were going to wait for the first point to go underway, but now with the finality here, they're going to ult up right at the very end.
Smash trying to hold it down here, goes for a reset, not able to get it, but with Jerky and Winning going for their ultimates as well, trying to find an angle where they can get on top of anyone here. Berber Patapem starting to fall here like dominoes. 1, 2, 3 already destroyed there, and Zero Tenacity are going to be able to get to the first objective and push it through for point number 2. They will get additional time on the clock as well, and they are already starting to get towards the next objective.
Very nice look out now from Zero Tenacity. They've made it work, and Tanuki hasn't found that same impact since now. We're seeing Lugia target this little guy so much more.
I love what I'm witnessing right now. Just Jeff the Shark taking on Captain America, one of the strongest soldiers of the Super Serum, and Jeff just goes onto the ground, gets a couple of spits on him, and is so annoying. Meanwhile, Lugia creating the space as you continue to point out, going for the health pack, is able to grab it at the last second while the opposing Captain America is trying to slow him down. Running back to his teammates, he's getting low on his shield here, hoping for some heals. Meanwhile, ultimate will be popped for Lugia, and he will stay alive. He surely is the GOAT.
He really is. But we'll have to wait and see into the backline control. Enzo does have Meteor M available. This could be a good way of shutting down Oasis, who's soon to have their own ultimate, or even Smash Nez with Kraken Impact. It keeps going though. Ducky 1 not on the Groot anymore. This has been good though. The quick DPS up close was looking good, but unfortunately though, it's not long to be. Smash Nez falls too. Enzo's still ult available. Jeff the same. And it's Jeff right outside of spawn that could find devastation.
He's trying to find anyone or anything to get on top of.
No.
Decides to go and put off. Even goes for the emote afterwards. ... I feel you, man. Sometimes you go for the miracle and you're looking for something, and sometimes it doesn't pay off. But that's why we continue to keep up with our tenacity and we keep focusing forward. Berber Patapim already in a solid situation here. Meanwhile, Jerky charging above, looking for its next target, trying to find someone he can take out of the team fight.
3 ults, available now. 4 from Ducky. The Mommy Ray could be ready any moment from now. Smash Nez once more. Where will this Kraken find its impact? The answer is, well, we'll have to wait and see for the back lines. If you can get over there. Let's see if the target instead is Enzo. The Magneto falls, and unfortunately Smash. I think that might be the end of the road for the Kraken Impact. Everyone else is getting healed up so much more that he's not able to find another kill.
Well, he does find a couple, which is just enough to get a little bit more headway on this convoy. They still do have a decent amount to go, though. It looks like about, what, 20, 30 meters here? Meanwhile, Jeff, oh, he's stuck in the wall! It wasn't broken down! Remember, buildings in this game will rebuild over time, and that was definitely a situation that did not work out for Tanuki. Tanuki down, which means defense is going to be slightly weaker. Enzo getting low on HP. Here's Jeff the Shark. He finds a Loki, trying to dance, going up on the other side of the wall here. Even just getting them away from the fight and spitting them into the other direction is good for them as Jerky continues to create space. Meanwhile, resets occurring here for Pokey. He's low on HP. He will get a health back and come back to the fight.
A lot of trust in both of these teams to take these 1v1s and maintain control of the convoy. 20 seconds left on the clock now. Zero Tenacity are inches away from taking point number 2. Diamond Form is out, and Enzo swaps around to the Doctor Strange, a portal to B. 2 strategist ults available now. Ken, what do you transform into? Cannot tell.
Wait, that was the real one.
They didn't switch yet. Oh,
Pokey.
There we go.
Pokey got the real ult there.
But no
Another portal comes in. It's overtime right now, Keg. Damage goes in. Enzo at 50%, providing the melee as you mentioned, going for the E as well. Here comes Jeff the Shark. He's gonna swallow. It's Tanuki. Tanuki gets beat down though. The overtime continues to tick. Emma Frost in the front line trying to stay alive with that damage reduction. Meanwhile, Invisible Woman drops down the ultimate. 2 people are down for Berber Patapim. Tenacity trying to hold this as much as they can.
Melee, Avengers assemble. It's out now. Megamoto available for Enzo, but he gets pushed away. He finds the win back. That shield lasts a nanosecond, and he's trying to use his body to prevent anything from happening. And the Zero Tenacity, they're losing their overtime. Pokey's so close to the Kraken impact that it must proc immediately, but he holds on to it. So much so he holds it to the afterlife. And Pim, they're unable to hold the line. And Zero Tenacity make it to point 3.
They're still not at the top of the mountain, though. They're only in the middle of it here. They have one more objective to go, but they can take a slight breath of relief. Okay, they got objective number 2. Let's set up for objective number 3. Pokey has an ultimate, can as well, building his at 73%, and it's climbing. Tanuki trying to find a situation here where they can keep this Jeff at bay. Zero Tenacity starts to march forward inch by inch, but the thing is, time is starting to dwindle. They are down to 1 minute, and they have to get around this corner, which is one of the hardest points on this map.
These Jeffs have their ults now. Top 10 anime battles about to erupt once more. This Captain America putting in work. Holly's got to back away. He can't frontline. He's got to have the help from Enzo, who's now on the Emma. We have seen Enzo play practically every Vanguard in this map alone. Ults are out every single place. If you show this to a 15th century peasant child and they would explode.
A caveman.
Impact once more. This is looking good though. Backline potential. Bring out the entire kit for the Winter Soldier. And even then it feels like it's doing no damage at all.
But all the resources have been burnt here, Keg. The only one that has one left is Tanuki on the Jeff, which has been the story of this game. Can he find an angle here to slow down his opponent? 10 seconds of counting. Zero Tenacity will be going into overtime. Ooh, a hook over the corner. Smashnet's getting the shots, but luckily for them, Polly comes in with the shield himself, provides the heals, and he goes straight in for a Loki. Loki's able to teleport away and survive for the moment, but we are officially in overtime. Emma Frost locks down Polly, pushes her into a corner. Meanwhile, Invisible Woman has to drop her own ultimate just to survive for the moment. Ken trying to build up an ultimate, but Polly, he can do this all day. He's on the back line and he has cleared 3.
A team wipe. And I honestly could not tell you what just happened. I saw colors. I saw the heat death of my neurons, and suddenly it was over. We swapped sides.
Sometimes you get lost in the sauce, and the one that reigns supreme, man, is the one that knows what's in the ingredients, and that was Captain America. Polly was able to really just get in the middle of the fight. He provided his ultimate, which kept Emma Frost alive, his own teammate, and then after he secured and made sure his team was good to go, he went full Captain America. He dived the back line, went down for Loki, and the moment the strategies start to fall apart in a situation where you don't have ultimates is when the rest of the team is going to fall apart. Polly was certainly the MVP at that final fight.
Polly has put in the work, and that might be why we didn't see the Captain America ban after all. He is starting to show up and go up against Lugia, who's now forced to go for the defense. You have to wonder, Polly was Captain America back on Krakoa. I mean, it was good, but he wasn't Lugia good. And now statistically and in terms of impact, he is surpassing the best Captain America we've seen this tournament.
Yeah, one thing about Captain America is he excels when you have more space, when you have things to run to, help set up, and convoys, naturally, are bigger maps. They have longer corridors, they have different areas that you can go into, which gives that Captain America a slight edge, which I know is more evidence for you on these bans, but Paulie was really able to showcase that there with his ability to stay alive and just float around. But here we go! Can Zero Tenacity keep Berber Patapim under a 2-0 for the third objective? Let's find out now.
Pokey. Not on a Psylocke. Keep in mind, it was reserved just for Pokey alone. On the Winter Soldier, nonetheless. There's team up potential here off of the Captain America. Emma. Ducky. A 1v1. A battle of mommies. Unfortunately, Ducky seems to be losing the fight. Has to give up space. This onslaught of Patapam has looked fantastic thus far. But it was a big struggle back when we swapped sides and it was first point.
I hate it when brothers fight, but this fight continues. They are very resilient, and we even have Bucky coming in and trying to help out a little bit. Pokey continuing the shots there, trying to burn down these Loki clones, also getting shots in the front line, but so far, man, Ducky's getting just enough heals to stay here on the front. The strategists are just killing it when it comes to supporting.
Doing such a good job. Winnie on this Loki. Has gone for the invisible boundary, and that has been a good start to clear some space. Ken, unfortunately, is not long for this role, but when they do get back, they'll have a Loki ult of their own. Jeff versus Jeff once more, just racking up each other's ults. They're not even getting kills. They're just farming each other to get the instant it's Jeff.
Yeah, it seems like they're really trying to focus the stalemate on who can get the high ground, but the stalemate has finally been broken. Zero Tenacity losing 1, 2, 3 members as Burper Patapim does come in and starts to clear up. Now, we do have Polly running down here on the back line, trying to get some aggression going, and what this does is it forces Zero Tenacity to regroup up and allows them to grab the objective, and they get it easily, it looks like. Oh, wait a minute, there is a Jeff back here. Just kidding, he gets to get picked up a second. Wait a minute, it's going to be a portal at the last second!
Portal into an ult dump. Zero Tenacity faced up against the same thing from Burpa Patapan back when they were in the same spot, back on the sides are swapped. 3 sucked up by Tanuki, none of them was another Jeff. That's going to be huge though. Can any of them survive? Unfortunately, I believe all 3 survive the onslaught. No, they don't. All
they actually
3
jumped
are
off.
fallen victim.
Yeah, they
Oh,
actually
you're
could have
right, they
survived, but they
reset.
decided to jump off because it was going to be a stagger, and they were stuck in a
Yeah.
weird position by the opposing team. So it was actually
see,
smart
I
of them to jump off.
It was, but look how much time is now available for Burpa
Yeah.
Patapem. And keep in mind, too, that Burpa Patapem, despite what you see on the board, they are 1-to-1 with Zero Tenacity. If they can make pace as soon as possible, just like they are now, they will be 2-1 against Zero Tenacity, and they'll only need one more game to be the champions of this event.
Dude, Polly's map knowledge on this map and where things are going to be coming from is so fantastical. There's a choke point that currently occurs here that he's about to run through that a lot of people are going to protect. But he knows his team has that on lock, so he holds the high ground advantage so the convoy can get around for as long as he can. And that small gesture bought his team 15 seconds of movement. Great heads-up play by Molly and wonderful macro.
Absolutely. Regeneration's out now. Unfortunately, Lugia Goat's not long for this world. And this has been a clean point, too, for Burpa Patapim.
Yeah.
At this point, Zero Tenacity, they have to make major changes.
Yeah, they're going to get into a situation here where this objective is kind of hard to pull through, but you are completely correct right now. The time is the major factor for Burper Patapim. You have to outslay them for 5 minutes straight on a runway that's getting shorter and shorter. I don't think I can land a plan on this runway. It's so short for them right now.
Yeah, absolutely. The twisting curves, that'd be so tough. It'd be like flying southwest. But let's see if Jerky can make this work with its Jeff. Could very well be a possibility. Oh, it's tough. There's no places to natively send people off the stage. Instead, you would have to run all the way into your own spawn with the Jeff ult. I don't even know if you can do that anymore.
Mostly displacement at this point that you have to kind of do, but they hold him here in the corner. Shots go off. Pokey begins to hold the front line, goes for the opposing Bucky. They do run into the heel, and that's actually pretty darn good here for Zero Tenacity if they want to hold this location. Jerky comes in and tries to find a target, and he finds a total of 4! Spits him into the last location here into his teammates so they can try and clean it up.
Total of 4, but Jerky has an ult in reverse as well. Kraken Impact out once more, clearing out this space. It's just a little bit more headway left for Burper Patapim against Zero Tenacity to gate this second game. Ken has been a surviving factor thus far. Polly does have ult. This is the potential last reset now for Zero Tenacity.
Ken really showcasing the volatility of the Bucky versus Loki matchup, bringing in the Ruins the last second to negate those resets, which would have gave Pokey a chance to win here. One less fight it's looking like for Burper Patapim as they try to push through and get this objective. Zero Tenacity already trying to set up and hold for defense.
Less than 5 meters left now. One last final fight, potentially for Zero Tenacity. Not the hold for the longest time, but it's a battle of attrition for Patapim. They don't have to do a whole lot. Jerky Ducky, yes, they do get 2, but again, 3 minutes are still left on the clock. They'll not only have to win this team fight, but send that convoy practically back to the beginning of P3 to have a chance.
Yeah, this is certainly a scenario where the phrase, it's a marathon, not a sprint, really fits in here for Zero Tenacity. They have to make sure that every ultimate is getting min-max value. They have to be in every situation where they're not overlaying things. Communication has to be an all-time high. Meanwhile, for Burper Patapim, they also need to figure out where they can sprint through their opponents. They're going to try and look for a pickoff, trying to go for a right-click, tries to pull someone in, doesn't fully connect. Their front line's trying to take some damage, but Captain America is in the back line, and he's low as Lugia is doing what you have been hampering on the entire day. He is buying time and being a complete nuisance.
It's so good to see. It's Jeff finally out. Mommy ran in reverse. It's the Kraken Impact for those who survived the Jeffening. It is an onslaught of displacement. As you have mentioned before, Zuki tries to return once more, but he's finding a lot of damage up against them. He can isolate out the Loki. Both strategists, nonetheless, from Zero Tenacity. 2 minutes left on the clock. A winning strategy from 0-10 has been working out well here. They're massacring everybody, but Polly comes back with a vengeance.
Loki trying to help out with those heals at the same time. Pokey going for it. Emma Frost. Ducky steps up, comes in for the psionic seduction. Doesn't really seduce anybody, but does buy a little bit of time. And the objective will hit the last point here. And Burr Patapim are going to be able to grab the win. But man, Tenacity tried to hold there. They burned a total of 3 minutes and 20 seconds, but it was not enough.
No, it's just the clean sweep from the first 2 points really did zero Tenacity in. If they had found their stall procedure and maybe even some swaps early on, they could have had the same exact condensed impact that they would have back on P3 and ran down the timer even more. 2-1 now for Patapim, despite what you see on screen. They only need one more game to become the champions of the Chronovium Cup.
What a match we're having right now, man. Gosh,
yeah.
This is great. This is competition, and I cannot state this enough, man. I've only been in a few tournaments, trying to do more, obviously, but having a Jeff meta evolve in front of our eyes is fascinating. It is so cool to watch. It's really awesome. Captain America and Jeff, the two of them together in tandem, are
Dynamic
annoying.
duo.
Yeah.
It's blue steel from both ways. So surely, surely now, I'm praying to whatever deities in the sky that we see one or the other panned out so Patapim can bring out this third map. Maybe. They were able to win.
Will they hear
despite
your
it.
calling?
They did bring out the mirror comp, and it did work out well for them.
Sure.
I will say, Polly and Tanuki, I think, did outplay both Jerky and I'm blanking on his name, Lugia.
Yeah. I mean, I gotta agree with you. I think it was more of a surprise factor too. They started to kind of get their footing a little bit better halfway through, but I think the Jeff showing up and disrupting Jerky, who had been kind of doing once he wants in all these matches, right? And suddenly being contested, especially on high ground scenarios, may have threw him off a little bit. He brought it together with a couple of ultimates, but I think actually the reason why we saw such great Jeff gameplay from Tanuki is perhaps, even though the Jeff team is running Jeff a lot, they don't have experience against it. He got multiple 3 to 4 man ultimates that usually comes down to A, knowing your iframe timings on whatever character you're on, or B, knowing when to spread out and how to spread out and who's going to deal with the Jeff afterwards. And that's something that comes with experience. So that might be why Tanuki was able to excel so much. And hopefully that conversation is being had right now for Zero Tenacity, or I fear we might have a repeat.
I mean, it felt like the general macro for Patapim was to avoid the Jeff ult by having characters that spread out so much. You had the
Yes.
Jeff, you had the Captain America, the Invisible Woman. I mean, I could list everybody, but the general idea was that you are more suited to take 1v1s than generally you would see in Marvel Rivals.
Yeah, get out of dodge is pretty much what you're saying there. Is like at the moment it's called, or you hear that Jeff yelling, you figure out how to get away. And the other thing too is usually discussed outside of a game, not in game, is which direction you're going. If you're supports, I'm going to go back left. I'm going to go back right. And that way, if Jeff comes in and gets one person, it's not that bad because Jeff is taking himself out of the fight as well. So, yeah, you bring up a really good point. Make sure you're grabbing heroes that are able to do that. One thing too that is actually like kind of solid for shutting down Jeff is Scarlet Witch could be good here. Her ability to drop down her E, which is a big global, or not global, but big AoE ability, and then follow up into damage with a right click is actually enough to almost one-shot Jeff, that if somebody comes in with a little bit more damage, you can do that as well. So that is something to consider. Other characters.
While I agree, my fear with the Scarlet would be is that usually the Jeff will come out in a triple strategist comp, and she just
Sure.
does not do enough damage against that kind of composition.
Wow, are you a Scarlet hater too, man? Am I gonna have
I
to
love Scarlet.
fight you?
I've got the white and red alpha skin, dude. I rock her all the time. I'm a Scarlet
Yeah.
enjoyer. It's just that, you know, she can only do so much. She's so situational. Like,
Sure, gotta agree with you.
point 3 on Yggdrasil, she would have been good. Depending on what we have next for our next game, she could be good if there's a lot of elevation. She's just very good pseudo melee at dropping down and surprising people. She's like a less BS Iron Fist.
Yeah, I think she's like a really good space creator. But to follow on this track of like other options that could be good against Jeff, I just like challenging what people are playing, right? Another thing too is actually Iron Man. So when Jeff goes for his ultimate, he's stuck in an animation where he has to come up and he's able to grab the grab and whatnot. Jeff
Oh,
and Iron Man's ultimate is actually the same timing of Jeff's whole animation going through, so you can hit the Q and follow it up and go for the damage afterwards right when he pops out. There's not much you can do. So that's another option as well.
What's this? Production? Hello? Hello? I'm getting a signal. I'm getting
Oh.
a word. Zero
Oh.
Tenacity chooses Central Park, Empire Eternal Night, and Burt Patapim choose Defense. Wait, what's this? What's that production? It's a great Scarlet Witch map?
Wow, I can't believe production came in like that, and they did it only to you as
Came in
well.
clutch.
Dude,
Yeah,
maybe
well,
you're
you gotta switch your
telepathic here.
frequency.
Maybe that's what it is. Yeah, I gotta lock
they
into
call me
the right radio
telepathetic.
station. This guy, man, he's got a word for everything. You really are a storyteller. Okay, so we got our maps locked down. We're setting up here for game number 3. We are in a situation where if Berber Patapim gets the win here, they win the entire tournament. $500 are going to them.
That's
It's in
right.
their pockets. Nobody else gets anything. This is a winner-takes-all tournament. It's for all the stakes and all the marbles. No one here is okay with second place.
Yeah, it's a scary motion to be in, to be able to fight for 2 days all this way and potentially not walk home with anything other than VODs to watch and ways to improve, and who knows, maybe a chance to win the next INGAGE tournament being brought after this. But again, that's neither here nor there. We are just about ready to head into game number 3 momentarily. We're just getting all of our players set up. So be honest with me.
Yeah,
Are we
lay it
gonna
on me.
Are we gonna see a Cap or a Jeff ban?
I feel like we're in the point where ego check is definitely clicking in here. Also, it's a matter of like not wanting to let any characters that you think is strong on the draft phase get through, and I think they're just willing to deal with the Captain America. And to be fair, our matches are closer than you would think. They are annoying and they are being disruptive, but we are having a meta kind of grow between these two teams right now, and both are trying to figure out what the best option is.
Yeah, no. There is
Yeah,
a
no.
reality we could see Zero Tenacity ban the Jeff or the Cap too. Because
Sure,
they were
yeah.
getting diffed last game.
Yeah, there are options, and that wouldn't that be the heel turn, right? Where the team
Yeah.
that brought the Jeff is suddenly the one banning it away, not to deal with it. I do think the surprise factor was probably a little bit more powerful than maybe we think in the last matchup, and now knowing that Jeff could be an option coming their way, they would adjust their playstyle a little bit. But these are all options and questions that luckily we don't have to answer. We get to just watch as it unfolds as we head straight into the draft and we begin our ban phases, Keg.
Very curious to see what Wolverine is banned from Zero Tenacity. No changes thus far. Normally this follows up with the Human Torch ban from Burpa Patapem. Instead, though, it's going to be the Groot. That makes me wonder if we're going to see the Human Torch reserved out by Patapim this time.
Groot has been disruptive, especially in these weird 5v5 point. Gosh, I guess 4v4s because Captain America and Jeff are kind of doing their own thing, spreading from the team as they're able to sustain themselves. So Groot will make it harder to group those up. Human Torch being saved, as you mentioned, something that has a good backup in case Jeff gets banned. And this is coming out from Berber Patapim, actually, the Human Torch save.
This is such a good Torch map, dude. It's unbelievable. Long distance, crazy amounts of funneling with his left and right click. You're really Supernova's unbelievable here for anti-Vanguard. The Psylocke reserve is not the Jeff this time. It is harder to get impact with Jeff's ult on this map just because, again, the verticality is strong and the gaps where you can throw people off are so out of the way outside of point 3. I don't think the Jeff's going to exist here.
Yeah, and just to add more onto your point as well, every point of contention is kind of choked off and short. There's no long like corridors in terms of like fighting. There's a lot more verticality, as you mentioned. So Jeff might just not even be picked up here at all. I could see him really struggling on this map. Hulk getting banned out instead, moving up on the ban phase, keeping him away from both teams. Also, just for those that are just tuning in and missed out earlier, negating Namor and Iron Man for their extra damage they bring.
Yeah, I think the Hulk ban is just the pseudo soft ban for Iron Man and Namor.
Yeah, make sure they're weak, not coming with insane damage. And to be fair, that damage is really nutty.
Well, now hold
Poor
on,
Hulk.
though. Hold on. We see a double reserve of Spider-Man from Burper Patapim. Their final ban could be the Namor.
Maybe. That is certainly a possibility. I don't know. I'm getting to a point where a lot of Spider-Man mains think they can handle Namor now, which is so fascinating to hear, because I certainly can. But the speed that Spider-Man can really bring in and lock down a target can be really disruptive and quick to the point where you can stay away from Namor. Because now his passive isn't the slow that you have from Luna Snow. It's just extra damage the longer you stay in a fight. And Spider-Man can kind of get around that. But looks like Luna Snow saved, Jeff now banned.
Okay. You know, I kind of spitballed out there that the Zero Tenacity themselves would bring out the Jeff band, realizing that, oh, we're getting farmed by Tanuki's own Jeff, but they themselves choose to ban out the Winter Soldier. It's gonna be no real major changes outside of that. When he's gonna go probably for the Loki pick once again. Oh, the Invisible Woman. Okay, that makes a lot more sense.
So what's Oasis gonna play then? What support does he
Probably
want?
The Atom is available.
Oh,
It's the Luna.
Adam's. I don't know how Adam is with his latest buffs, but a lot of competitive players will tell you that they don't like him as a second healer. They like him as a third healer on defense.
Which makes sense.
Which is interesting.
Like,
Yeah.
You can pair him up with the Mantis and have the Star-Lord, all of which are available in this match, by the way. And
Good
you can
point,
have the
yeah.
instant respawns.
Okay, here we go here. Berber Patapim. Remember, everybody, currently in a lead with this series. If they do win this map, they will win the entire tournament. Zero Tenacity literally fighting for the tournament life and $500. And luckily, they have their GOAT, Lugia, on Captain America, which has been a win for them so far. Ooh, Tanuki taking a side angle here.
I like this. When I play Human Torch on this map defensively, I do the same exact thing. Early setups allow you to get this big energy cost and build up your ult right away. Tanuki and Flaming Torch will be one of the longest build-ups for an ult in the game.
Why do they run into that? Zero Tenacity. All you gotta do is wait it out.
It's for stall. It's for
You
stall
just
and
give-
last too
yeah.
long. You really
But
need every second you can.
But giving 20% to an opposing character seems a little hard. Oh, hang
Yes,
on, though.
yes, but you are also giving heals Zero Tenacity, and they can build up healer ult quicker.
True. Good point. Good point. Good point. Jerky does get picked off, though. Zero Tenacity losing one. Berber Patapim holding down the objective for now. Trying to go up on the choke. Can't move up too forward, though. Defender advantage at this point is really in Zero Tenacity's favor, but ults are being built up. And so far, the current winner of that is Tanuki MR, currently sitting at 60% on his ult.
Big question now is, where's Luigi going to exist, or both Captain Americas going to exist in the Flaming Torch comp? Because that's going to be much harder for his distance to create space, and his footing is going to be a lot more reserved in how much he can jump.
Really gonna have to try and just burn out those supports and try to force him to do his dive, right? Use some resources and try to get out, but it is definitely a volatile fight. So far, though, Pauly's finding some supports right now and finds a couple of picks, 4 of them going down. Jerky and Lugia still alive, but they're gonna have to run on back and heal up. A good minute and 15 seconds have already been burned by Berber Patapim as they are holding this location.
These are mirror comps from both teams now. No distinct advantages one over the other. Defensively speaking, though, but for Patapim, they do have this choke control to work with, and it seems like Lugia is struggling against this other Captain America. Ults are being built up by Zero Tenacity, looking at winning to bring out this invisible boundary relatively soon. Supernova's already been procced out ahead of the strategist. He's been so good about building up this damage that he can get ahead of both, and now Invisible Boundary is available off of Tanuki's death, but then by the time he responds, he won't have to worry about it.
And the thing about Iron Torch is he actually has a really solid reinforcement speed. He can just kind of dash in there too, so deaths don't mean too much here. Jerky also getting picked off, speaking of deaths, as Berber Patapim is trying to hold on this front line. There goes the ultimate, but looks like we're going to have Luna Snow going for 12 seconds of invincibility here, providing the heals for her teammates, and Emma Frost going for seduction, trying to lock down anyone. These pillars, though, being used wisely by Patapim, making sure they're not getting locked down as Lugia joins the fight again.
Assemble once again, triple ult from Zero Tenacity, the Supernova making things a lot more difficult for Pauly to find impact. He has having a hard time getting in, and this should be a capture from Zero Tenacity.
Should be. However, there's still some time being bought here by Pokey, slowing it down, waiting for the teammates to show up. Hang on, has Pokey done it? The Invisible Woman providing a shield at the last second to get the heals, and Pokey somehow, some way has helped it fit with the help of the strategist. Huge shout out to Ken there, making the plays to keep Pokey alive, and they clean it up.
What was going on with Zero Tenacity? 3 1v1s back-to-back directly on site, and nobody helped each other's teammates. So much chaos and confusion from Zero's team, forcing out Ducky 1 Strange Portal onto site. There have to be an attempt made now.
Portal to try again this back line. They do get the high ground for it, and they do force Patapim to turn around, but Patapim already in a position where they're holding out every single choke that's coming their way. They have Captain America on the bottom left, they have Human Torch on the top side, and the rest of the units are staying back waiting for them to go for the full engage. Pokey steps up, gets some damage in. Tanuki continuing with his fire, looking for a potential bomb. He'll have one in about 3 seconds, and he's 10% away from his ultimate. Patapim starting to get in a situation where they may have this defense. Zero Tenacity has 15 seconds to make a play here.
This is gone from bad to worse. Ducky's going to maintain on a Doctor Strange to use these shields to potentially block out the vision from Tanuki, who again has Supernova ready. Invisible boundary on top, maximum stall, going into overtime now against Zero Tenacity. This is not looking good. Luckily though, when he does have invisible boundary to ring in to return to neutralize the Supernova, Tanuki does fall and things are looking better for Zero Tenacity, but again, overtime is dwindling away. They have to stay on site. Enzo's been good for a double kill, getting rid of at least one Vanguard and another strategist. Rios from the remaining players of Zero Tenacity has to find work. They have to survive. But again, it's dwindling down. It's a now or never moment. This could determine the championship.
Jerky out here just trying to put out as much damage as he can. He does get off a decent Supernova, and the rest of his team does show up. Zero Tenacity continuing with the punches, but Berber Patapim has also reset. Tanuki even switching straight into his Spider-Man so he can show up for the reinforcement. But look at Emma Frost. She is all built up. Doesn't matter, though, because Captain America comes in and delivers the punch. And with it all being said and done, Berber Patapim are able to shut down their opponents and not let them get a single point on the board.
I'm really surprised. It was looking solid for a minute for Zero Tenacity, but they let it slip away.
Things can get really hard here. And now, Zero Tenacity in a situation where they really got to figure out how they're going to shut down their opponents. Do you go full all in? Is it time for the Adam Warlock composition to make sure you have those reses to set up full tempo? They cannot budge an inch, or Berber Patapim is going to be able to get this win.
I'm not sure what the solution is, my friend. Right now, Berber Patapim have an identical comp, and it's worked out well. Alex was a Luna.
Don't trust it. Don't do it.
Trust it. I don't
trust it.
I don't trust it. But honestly, bring out the Spidey for the fast distance just to make everyone else on Zero Tenacity backline could be a good strat.
Yeah, one thing is when you're in a position where you know you have to play perfectly or you're going to lose, the idea that you're bringing here is that you just zip straight to the objective and cause a weird feeling of panic to set in, right? Just have Alex get on top of that point and pull everyone back for Zero Tenacity. I could see it certainly working. That is for sure. We'll see if they're going to be able to do it, but they switch off at the last second into its support.
Can't trust it. Can never ever
Hate
trust
fun,
it.
man. Can never trust him, man. Until that timer hits 0. All right, Alex, sorry for providing the heals here. Let's see how it goes. SM my head, man.
All right, bog standard once more. Immediate pressure from Jerky onto the strategist in the back line is a very solid start for I believe, Zero Tenacity. Had the sides confused for a second, but there we go, towards 1v1s. Polly is hiding away. This could be good for the backline control once again. Both strategists on both sides of this matchup have struggled a lot to stay alive.
Dude, this synergy between Pokey and his Captain America. Captain America comes in, starts getting the attention, and then he comes in and starts poking down the support. Support's already being lost down now. And Zero Tenacity losing 2-3 members. Jerky already trying to help, but he also falls as well. And Berber Patapim have got the objective. There's going to be one attempt at a portal, but can they get it up in time? It pops up. They jump through, and they start to slow it down. They have a chance.
A sliver to hold on. Any death might as well be permanent now for Zero Tenacity. Ducky falls. Jerky was one of the few left, but he can't get on point. And we can consider now Berber Patapim our grand final champions.
They go up 1-0. Such dominance coming in for them. Absolute display of skill. And their DPS players. I actually want to look at the stats here really, really quick and see if Pokey even lost a life. He seems to be so in tune with Psylocke. He really is always in there. We'll have to check that out later on because Berber Patapim is your grand final winners. The winners of $500, and they will take the Chronovium Cup this week. Such fantastic gameplay for them. And huge kudos as well to Zero Tenacity, who put up a great fight.
And thank you again, INGAGE, for bringing us on and having an amazing tournament for all of us to watch and participate in. This was a heck of a banger at the very end, and Parapim, they looked pretty dang good, and I wouldn't be surprised if they can turn it back around in the future and maybe win twice over.
Yeah, this is definitely a team that we're going to have to keep our eyes on. And the cool thing about teams as well when they start coming out to these tournaments is they get better, right? They
Oh, yeah.
evolve. But the other part too is now you have replay analysis of all their gameplay. So anyone that wants to try and contest the crown, if you will, is able to look through every single moment, figure out where their teams tick, and try to find a way to break them. But obviously, I don't want to dive too far into that. Right now, it's all about congratulations. Good job, Berber Patapim. You were fun to watch, and you got a fun name.
The Captain Americas on both sides put in a ton of effort, and they really were the maestros of each of these games, dictating the pacing, the 1v1 potentials, and just making the threat potential for all the strategists so difficult.
It's incredible how much they're able to open up a window for their teammates. It really is. And it's something that a lot of people are going to have to figure out how to shut down. Do you start ignoring the Captain America and try to die the opposing team instead? Do you get better plants or traps? Do you consider different characters? Is Penny something that you might have to consider as well? Because Penny can kind of shut down Captain America with a nest, but is Penny good enough for you to do that? She did recently get buffs, and that's the whole fun of Marvel Rivals. Different characters, different switch-ups. Will the meta change next time? And that's what I'm here for, man.
Well, speaking of switching things up, the game could be completely different by the time we have another tournament like this again, which could be next week. The game changes all the time. But until then, we will say goodbye to you now. Chronovium Cup was an amazing adventure, and I can't wait to see more from INGAGE. Thank you so much for having us again. Follow us, follow INGAGE on social media. You know the deal. And we will see you all very soon.
Give me the loot. Might lose some battles, but winning the war. I get knocked down, I get back up, get up and go. I stay ready for more. Go to the total, I level the score. Never gon' quit. Heard you seen some, but you never seen this. Bet on myself 8 times, no trick, trust. Give me the loot. See now we going high stakes. This ain't clickbait. This a risk take. This no mistake. I was born to do it. I was born for music. I just get into it. I can't get influence when I'm near influence. No genre music. We go rap back to pop, pop back to rap. Country on the track. I was once broke, I was down bad. Swear I'm never going back. I'm from upstate where we see a little bit of this and some of that. Little city and some sticks. Watch me put it on the map. Someone get attacked. If you're not first and you're last, life is a race, don't you lag. I get a bag and I stack. The reason I taxed was not cause they needed me. Got all of mine equally. I see what they need from me. Blood, sweat, and tears from the frequency. Now you believe in me. Cheers for me. Give me the loot. Might lose some battles, but winning the war. I get knocked down, I get back up, get up and go. I stay ready for more. Go to the total, I level the score. Never gon' quit. Heard you seen some, but you never seen this. Bet on myself 8 times, no trick, trust. Give me the loot. Word on my palm at the top of the game. Still unashamed, no one to blame. Took all the L's and I rose from the pain. Can't have the sun without seeing the rain. And it rained down when the rain came. See the time change, rolling plain Jane. You and me are not the same, stop saying things. Yeah, they talk, I don't say a lot. I just walk, so I'm moving loud. Really keep it low key, I don't like crowds. Really keep it OG, I don't like clowns. Really keep it just me, I'm the best out. I don't try to keep up, I don't stress out. I don't cash no checks cause the checks bounce. I don't chat about that, I'm the best out.